Bite a Java Lifestyle coffee and tea, or dine at Delano's Risotto and Pasta Bar. It's the kind of centre where you can get some retail therapy, do the weekly shop, or just relax. Want something new in your life? Choose a new local. Choose Newton Central, Gorge Road, Newton.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio, and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's FIVEaa.
Partly cloudy, 15 today with the 6 o'clock news. I'm Mel Usher.
FIVEaa is a registered NDIS provider, so let them support you in achieving your goals. FIVEaextra.com.
Ivana Trump has died from an apparent heart attack, the 73-year-old passing away in Manhattan. She married Donald Trump in 1977 and is the mother of Donald Jr., Ivanka and Eric. The pair divorced in 1992. The former president has issued a statement saying she was a wonderful, beautiful and amazing woman who led a great and inspirational life. There are calls for the Malinauskas government to ensure concession card holders in SA continue to receive free rapid antigen tests. Canberra began offering the kits in January when supply shortages sent prices spiralling, but the scheme is due to end July 21. With COVID cases continuing to surge, Shadow Health Minister Ashton Hearn wants the program extended.
Peter Malinauskas should take some leadership here. He should stand up to his colleagues in Canberra and get an extension of this program. And failing to do that, we believe he should step in and fill the void himself.
Meantime, another option will come online today for South Aussies looking to get their 4th jab of a COVID vaccine. A new clinic will open at the Maya Centre in the mall. There was another jump in local case numbers yesterday, with 4,761 new infections in the past 24 hours. And in the US, the FDA has issued an emergency use authorisation for the Novavax COVID vaccine. That gives Americans 18 and over a 4th vaccine choice. The Treasurer and Central Bank Governor are travelling to Indonesia to attend a global gathering of major economies. Lucy Gray reports.
Jim Chalmers and Philip Lowe will spend the next 2 days in Bali at the G20 Finance Ministers and Central Bank Governors meeting. The Treasurer will use the trip to discuss the economic issues affecting our region, such as energy and food security, climate change, tax and pandemic preparedness. The pair have embarked overseas as Australia's economy continues to defy global expectations, with unemployment dropping to a 48-year low, but inflation remains high.
The Adelaide Guitar Festival starts tonight. The program features heavy metal, electric shredding, blues, classical and flamenco and runs till the 24th of July. Artistic Director Slava Gregorian says there are plenty of local acts to see, but they're also looking forward to welcoming back international artists.
We've got the incredible Zhifei Yang from China, who'll be gracing Her Majesty's Theatre stage, and one of the best Spanish guitarists on the planet, Jose Maria Gallardo del Rey, is also making his Adelaide Guitar Festival debut this week.
Kylie Minogue and Jason Donovan's 80s duet, Especially for You, is getting a special re-release to coincide with their return to Neighbours. It will be available as a 7-inch vinyl single and single from August 5.
Together, I wanna show you my heart is so, so true. And all the love I have is especially for you.
Now to FIVEaa Sport.
New Mitsubishi Triton with 10-year warranty, 10-year capped price servicing at Agostino Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Elizabeth.
Oh, here's my Jason Donovan. Good morning, Tom Wren.
Thank you, Mel. Great to be here. Let's start with football. The teams are out for round 18. And for the 3rd time this season, Matt Crouch has been sent back to the SANFL after being dropped. Captain Rory Sloane telling Rowie it's been difficult, but Crouch is handling the situation as best he can.
It's the toughest challenge, I think, we're probably facing at the moment is a mix of the group. Yeah. I certainly love the way Matty's attitude's been and the way he's been playing his footy. It would be incredibly tough right now, but his footy and the way he keeps responding has been the most pleasing thing.
Jackson Haitley and James Rowe have also been dropped. Meantime, Port Adelaide has named a squad for Sunday's match against Melbourne, which will be trimmed later today. Riley Bonner has been included in the squad, while the Demons have left out Clayton Oliver due to a broken thumb. And the round gets underway tonight with the Western Bulldogs taking on St Kilda. Well, there's 4 Australians within 6 shots of the lead after the first round of the Open Championship at St Andrews. Cam Smith's in outright third spot. He's at 5 under. Smith is 3 shots behind American leader Cameron Young. Brad Kennedy's at 4 under, while Minwoo Lee is just a shot further back at 3 under. Lucas Herbert is at 2 under. And round 18 of the NRL kicks off tonight with 2 games to be played. The Cowboys take on the Sharks, while the Eels host the Warriors. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now the 5AA forecast, partly cloudy today, 15, showers increasing tomorrow, 15, and showers continuing Sunday, 15. Right now it's 8 degrees. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Statewide Super is now Host Plus, an industry super fund for all Australians. That's a plus.
6:05. Good morning to you. Welcome to 5AA Breakfast on a cool Friday morning, but cool in the dual purpose sense of the word, because we're down at the Central Markets, which is just a tremendous place to be. We love doing the show from down here, so if you want to come down and say hi at any point between now and 9 o'clock this morning, we'd love to see you. There's a number of reasons to come down to the Central Market. We don't need to talk about the virtues of the shopping that can be done. Come and have your breakfast, come and get your shopping done for the weekend, but also you get to see my offsider, David Penberthy. He's always right on the cutting edge of fashion trends. He's tried something new this morning, and it needs to be seen in the flesh to be believed. But he may be the first person in radio broadcasting history to have managed to put a beanie on over the top of his headset and gear. I think it's quite fetching. You've matched the scarf with it as well. I think you've outdone yourself this morning.
Thank you, Will. It's very kind of you. I thought, we're here on Bastille Day, or the day after Bastille Day, and obviously France being synonymous with fashion, the latest trends. I thought I would try something new. This is a possum fur beanie that I bought on a holiday to New Zealand about 10 years ago. And it's on cold mornings like this, the possum fur beanie is the thing you want. I know I don't look like I'm the full quid, but I'm quite happy here, snug under the beanie. But it's sensational being back in the market. I was actually in the market 12 and a half hours ago, I just realised, because I had to do a regular spot that I do on Sky News last night at 5 o'clock. And one of the great things about the market, if you're in the city, like it's just so cool to pop in and wander through. And I had about half an hour to kill before the TV appearance, and came in last night. I bought a rabbit. Going a bit old
whole
school.
Rabbit.
Yeah, not to eat, not a pet rabbit. I didn't go to the pet shop on the other side near Victoria Square. There's a place here called Something Wild, a butcher shop that specialises in all sorts of game meats. They've got venison and rabbits and a lot of roux and all of that. But it's just such a cool place to walk around, because you always find something new. And yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun here today.
It's going to be great.
Don't die of hypothermia.
That's going to be the trick.
You might. You're not wearing a possum fur beanie.
No, I missed a trick there. I won't be. Fool me once. What did George W. Bush say? Can't fool me again. Ryan Fitzgerald before 7 o'clock this morning. We'll get Footsie's footy tips and take on live just before 7 o'clock. Then after 7 today, Orazio Fantasia will join us. A little bit later in the morning, we'll be catching up with Shane Lay from Kangaroo Island. He's one of these, a really wonderful story. When we visited him, he was living in temporary accommodation. His property had burnt down in KI.
I think he was living in a friend's caravan.
Yeah, it was a friend's caravan.
Yeah.
And he's parlayed that misfortune into this thriving garlic business.
It feels like such a long time ago, doesn't it?
It does. The world's changed.
So that was the start of 2020. It was 2019.
It was yes.
2020. So when we first went to KI, it was our first show of the year in 2020. And 2 months later, we were going into lockdowns, weren't we? So it was January, about probably the 20th, because we always come back a week before Australia Day. So the fires are only really... They were sort of still burning.
No, they were still going, because I remember there were areas of the island that were still totally restricted. We were allowed to travel on some of the areas that had been kept aside just for the emergency services.
Because when we went out, it was still smoking, wasn't it?
Yeah.
All the tree stumps out sort of towards Pandana.
You couldn't go beyond Pandana. You couldn't go west of Pandana.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that was about as far as we went. But we saw Shane and.
So it's only 2.5 years ago.
Yeah,
it feels like ages ago, doesn't it?
Jeez, it has been a rolling cascading series of natural and worldwide disasters since then, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Speaking of which, the meat tray today, not a disaster, but it's inspired by, well, sort of one that's a sign of the times. The meat tray today, thanks to the team at Ledoux Cox. Come and see them this weekend at the Adelaide Central Market. Fiji's McDonald's have run out of burgers. They've run out.
They've run out of everything, haven't they?
They've run out. I think the patties are the key part of the problem. You can still get a fillet of fish, I believe. But there's no...
Great.
There's no...
Does anyone eat fillet of fish?
I've been known to have the odd fillet of fish.
Seriously?
And you might say, how does that pass with your philosophy on only eating fish close to the ocean?
You don't like fish,
I
either.
would say, no, I do. I don't mind fish. I would say that I don't believe there's a lot of fish in it. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe it is.
There's not many fish that are that perfect square shape, are there?
No. The old square fish. There's not too many of them knocking around. The meat tray today, though, because a lot of people are saying, well, what a nightmare scenario. People in Fiji are going to have to do without McDonald's for a period of some time. A week. The CEO is sort of saying, well, it was a shipping problem. The ship of New Zealand didn't get loaded quickly enough. So it's like the big version of the Qantas baggage claim disaster that everyone's having at the moment. What happens if all your McDonald's supplies don't arrive? We're asking you, what could you not live without? What could you not live without for the meat tray on this Friday morning here at the Central Markets? 8223 You can text us on the Automasters text line as well, 0248 08 1395. Hell, if you come down to the Central Markets and tell us in person, you're in the running as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something you couldn't live without.
And there's no better butcher to be celebrating our French-themed market visit with, because have you ever been to this place?
No, I haven't.
It's unbelievable. It's reasonably new. I reckon it's only been there for about 5 years. It means the two roosters. Les deux. Geez, I hope Lucy isn't listening. I'm going to murder the French pronunciation here, but les deux. Geez, I hope Lucy isn't listening. I'm going to murder the French pronunciation here, but les deux coq, or coqs, I think you'd say, is the two roosters. Like you think, you
Les
know,
deux coqs.
to invite more ridicule from John Blake, as in cock of in, rooster in red wine. But they do like the most superb terrines and pâtés. They make these things called roulettes, which is like shredded, really slow-cooked pork that's then preserved under clarified butter, and you just spread.
Excellent. Someone wants to know what is a rabbit going for these days. Someone wants to know what is a rabbit going for these days.
$28.
$28 for a rabbit. There you go.
$28.
If your parents are happy to pony up $28, whoever it was that texted.
Isn't that amazing? Like this was the food.
Yeah.
After the Depression, or during the Depression, and then after the war when rationing was in place, my mum and dad, if I served them rabbit, they'd run screaming from the house because they associate it with a childhood marked by rationing and deprivation. And all of these things, like tripe in white sauce or lamb's fry with bacon, brawn, all the old poverty dishes made out of the offcuts of animals, and things like rabbits as well, because they were about the only thing that was plentiful and affordable. I reckon a lot of people in my parents' generation think, I'm never going back to that. But it's sad because it means that people like my kids have never even tried it.
It's undertaken like as a degree of difficulty thing by a lot of modern chefs, isn't it? Like, I know you grew up thinking this was rubbish, but look what you can do with it.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's probably hard to get over that first hurdle with a lot of people who go, no, it's rubbish.
Stewed rabbit is one of life's great pleasures.
Let's take some calls for the meat tray on this Friday morning. Thanks to the team at Ledoux Cox. Jody and Rostrevor, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good, Jody.
Good, thanks, Jody.
What could you not live without?
Eggs.
Eggs.
Good old egg.
EGGS, eggs.
Is that eggs in the?
Yes.
Is that a breakfast staple for you, Jody, or is it just what's your go-to egg situation?
Well, pretty much have an egg every day, either poached or fried. Do a lot of cooking, making cakes, so therefore another use of egg. Then the Chinese omelette, the frittata. Yeah.
Chinese. What's a Chinese omelette?
Just like
a Chinese omelette.
Yeah, so whip it up, chive, coriander, bit of chilli, bit of shiitake mushroom. Just flip it over.
That sounds
like
good.
an
She
everyday
sounds good.
omelette, but amazing, and a bit of soy
All
and
right.
a bit of fish sauce. Yeah.
Nice work, Jody.
Excellent.
Thank you for getting us started with the eggs. Let's go to Glenn in Elizabeth North. Morning to you, Glenn.
Morning, guys. It's not food related, but I could do without putting up with the ex-wife, but I have to because of the kids, unfortunately. So.
Glenn, the question was, what could you not live without? not what could you live without, Glenn.
Let's not turn this into a clearinghouse for our marital problems.
Lornie, good morning.
Good morning. Lovely to talk to you, boys. I'm 91 and I can't use up my mobile phone.
Oh, well, what are you addicted to on the mobile phone, Lornie?
Oh, the games.
What game do you play?
Works with friends.
Oh, yeah, that's a popular one.
That's
I think,
a good
David,
one.
you play
I play that. It's great.
Then I talk on Hangout, but they've changed it back to Google Chat now. It's not quite as good, but still can talk to people.
Do you find, Lornie, that playing word games helps keep you mentally agile?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why
you sound like you're bright as a button.
Yeah, well, that's the only thing that works for me. The rest.
Hey, Lornie, we might need you to get you to come and do a tutorial for David on how to use a mobile phone. He needs a bit of help.
I'm a Luddite. Good on you, Lornie.
Good on you, Lornie. That's a good one. The mobile phone. I reckon there's a lot of people that would be in the same category. They just wouldn't be willing to admit it.
I tell you what, Lornie gives lie to the stereotype that old people don't get into technology too.
My old man's obsessed with technology.
Yeah. There's
absolutely
a sort of
obsessed.
Millennial assumption, the oldies don't get it. I sort of think I don't want to get it. I just can't.
You've opted out.
Yeah, I'm much happier saying to the kids, the remote's not working, and just handing it to them. Like, you know what to do. I've got other stuff to do.
17 minutes after 6, 8223 0000. What could you not live without? That's the question for the meat tray this morning. We've got some news headlines for you coming up next.
G'day, it's Mark Bickley. For most business PC brands, a 4-hour service guarantee means they'll call you back in 4 hours. But at Leader Computers, a 4-hour service guarantee on Leader's business range means they'll come to your worksite and have you back in business inside 4 hours. Leader Computers are local, made here in Adelaide with better service, better support and speedy turnaround times. Live life local. Live life Leader. Leader Computers. Find your local dealer at leadersystems.com.au.
For over 38 years, Steinborner has been well worth the trip. With over 400 used cars to choose from, you're sure to find the car you're looking for. You won't find a better range of cars covering the entire region from Gawler to the Barossa Valley and Clare. And don't forget, you can always click through the collection of vehicles online at steinborner.com.au. Great local deals on great local cars from your locals. Steinborner Automotive. Still well worth the trip or well worth the click.
Are you one of those people who lie awake at night worrying? Wouldn't it be great to calm your anxious thoughts and just drift away into a blissful sleep? Well, then Caruso's Mind Ease could be just what you need.
Yeah, this is easy. Caruso's Mind Ease is a once-a-day capsule that contains lavender oil to help relieve the symptoms of mild anxiety, restlessness and excess nervous energy, promoting a deep sleep and supporting refreshing sleep in adults.
So if you'd like to worry less and sleep more, try Caruso's Mind Ease today. Caruso's Mind Ease, available from leading pharmacies and health stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use. And if symptoms persist, of course, see your health professional.
How special it is to think that right now we are revolving around a golden sun, perpetually spinning on the same rock as a stylish front-load washing machine for only $499. With roomy 10-kilo capacity and 16 wash programs including MyCycle memory function, it's special. You can buy only at Aldi Special Buys Laundry Sale this Saturday while stocks last at Aldi. Good, different.
9 News has the experience to break the news. Made in Adelaide for Adelaide. 9 News.
Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Statewide Super is now Host Plus, an industry super fund for all Australians. That's a plus.
9 minutes after 6. News headlines time. Tom Brennan just a moment to talk sport. There's a story that kicks us off in news headlines. It's something we'll have a closer look at 7 o'clock today. A man will go on trial charged over a crash that claimed the life of an Adelaide teenager 3 years ago. 15-year-old Sophia Naismith was hit by a Lamborghini on Morford Road at Glengowrie in June 2019. Alexander Campbell was behind the wheel of a $300,000 car. He's pleaded guilty to aggravated driving without due care, but denies he was driving dangerously. There was an interesting pre-trial debate that took place yesterday that's covered well in the Tiser this morning about the admissibility of the evidence of people seeing him earlier in the day or in the hours preceding the crash apparently driving dangerously. His lawyer said, well, what's the relevance of that to the moment? The prosecution argues, well, it gave him a level of awareness about what happens if you accelerate quickly in this car.
Yeah, absolutely. And I thought it was really interesting to see that the judge did allow that the witnesses' evidence saying that he had been seen fishtailing before he hit Sophie is going to be allowed into court. The other thing too that the trial is going to hinge on, apparently these Lamborghinis, I don't know the first thing about them, but they can be driven in street mode or sports mode. Street mode is what they're meant to be in when they're being driven around on the streets, if you happen to be flushed enough with cash to have a Lamborghini. But the assertion is that he might have actually had it in racing mode as opposed to street mode. So all will be revealed during the trial.
An emergency meeting of National Cabinet will be held on Monday amid a worsening third COVID wave. Comes amid a joining chorus of state leaders and unions putting pressure on the federal government to bring back pandemic leave payments. The $750 payments ended on June 30.
I was thinking about ScoMo's comments over the last 48 hours about why he lost the election and the perception that the feds should have been able to fix absolutely everything with the click of a finger during the pandemic. It hasn't taken long for Albanese to find himself in exactly the same position, has it? Like all of the states, and credit O'Malley, because he hasn't been out there whinging and moaning, saying, oh, we need this. But it's like the states are sort of these, they're almost like children needing to be fed. Like what, do the states have no resources, no wit, no capacity to generate policy themselves? Is public policy in this country purely about, hey, Canberra, we need more money right now?
No, public policy in this country is about who can we get to pay for this that isn't us. Yeah, that's what it is.
Exactly. It's crazy.
A new COVID vaccination clinic opens in Rundle Mall today to fast-track the rollout of the fourth jab. It's located in the Myer Centre. There's also a new pop-up hub in the West Parklands. Meantime, the state opposition wants the free rapid antigen test scheme to be extended in South Australia. The federal government began offering pensioners and concession card holders up to 10 free kits every 3 months, with supply shortages sending prices spiralling in January. Now, that subsidy, as we've discussed at length on the program, ends at the end of this month. And Shadow Health Minister Ashton Hearn wants Peter Malinauskas to take matters into his own hands.
We know that COVID cases are exploding right now, and now is not the time to be removing these basic protections for our most vulnerable. We should be doing everything that we possibly can to not only alleviate that pressure on our health system, but also keeping South Australians safe.
US and Israeli officials have made a joint promise to prevent Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons. President Joe Biden is on his first official tour of the Middle East as Commander-in-Chief. He has just had a visit to Israel to reaffirm support for that nation.
You have new tools that keep Israel strong and secure. You have an ironclad commitment from the United States of America to Israel's security, an ironclad commitment. We'll make sure that Israel can defend itself by itself.
Kevin Spacey has pleaded not guilty to 5 charges when facing a London court. The actor is accused of 4 counts of sexual assault, as well as another charge over alleged incidents between 2005 and 2008. Let's turn our attention to sport, because I know Stephen Rose walked into the studio. Tom Wren's walked into the studio there back in High Marsh Square. It's what happens when you can't see someone. You're guessing. We're down here at the Central Markets. New Mitsubishi Triton with 10-year warranty, 10-year cap price servicing. Agostino Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Elizabeth. Morning to you, ready?
Morning, Will. Morning, David. Sounding great, looking great out there. I wish I was there with you. Head into Lucia's, get a nice coffee. You know, the beautiful smells in the morning. I'm very, very jealous that I'm not there with you.
Head down after, mate.
I might just do that. I love grabbing just a fresh sandwich there. I go there a couple of times a week. Absolutely love it there, Pembo. How good is it?
Yeah, it's terrific. It's great. Every time I come here, it reminds me it was such a good place to work as well.
Yeah.
There's always some drama going on somewhere in the market. Like, it's a hilarious workplace.
It is,
it?
isn't it?
Like our workplace.
Well, yeah, exactly. The funny farm here, isn't it? I think I'd rather be there.
That's right.
But I tell you what's not a happy workplace at the moment, David, and Will, I'd be fascinated in your thoughts, is, well, for one player anyway, Matt Crouch, he's in and out like a yo-yo at the moment, back for one game last week, 28 touches, and we spoke about it, that midfield mix and how it doesn't seem to be working, and He was only a really late inclusion last week, and he's back out of the side. So it just makes me wonder where to now. I mean, do they bring him back again for the rest of the season, or is that it? Because in my mind, once you drop a player 3 times at that age, I know they keep saying, he's a part of our future, etc., but I don't think there's any conceivable way they can probably say that with a straight face now. I think that's probably marked his card, and at the end of the season, they've got to maybe look to part ways and work out a trade.
Has to, Rennie. Makes no sense now to bring him back. Matt Crouch is a 27-year-old former club champion, All-Australian.
Yep.
He is who he is, though. And if who he is right now isn't able to get a spot in the side, he's not going to go back to the SANFL and suddenly be the kind of guy who's taking running bounces and lacing out blokes in the forward 50.
Mm-hmm.
It's not his game. If there's no place for Matt Crouch, the inside midfielder accumulator who can get you 30 touches, that's not going to change. And the reason that is from something we've talked about at length previously, is there's too much of the same sort of player in the midfield at the moment. And again, it's not a slight on Matt Crouch. It's simply, these guys are all good footballers in and of themselves, but you can't have all of them playing in the same side.
Does that make him a whipping boy, though, for a structural problem with the midfield, where it's like
completely.
someone's got to go? So, all right, Matt, sorry, mate, you're out?
Yeah.
Because you're too much like Ben Keys and Rory Laird?
100%. Yeah, so I got sympathy for Matt Crouch.
Yeah, so have I.
He's still who he has always been.
Yeah.
And in another side, if he's your key go-to, just win ball inside midfielder, no one's having these conversations. But that's all the Crows midfield have. This is a list management problem. It's not a Matt Crouch problem.
Hey, on the upside, though, Tom, what about the dude on track for Mark of the Year after the big win last night?
I know. That was a lot of fun yesterday, wasn't it? That was amazing. He pokes fun at himself, but he's a fantastic intercept mark. Big game for them tomorrow. They've got to respond. Look, I know there's no finals or anything on the line, but Collingwood, there's a lot on the line for them. Potentially top 4, which is extraordinary. I think most people had them in the bottom 4. Some even had them finishing bottom this season. So I want to see how they bounce back. And Port Adelaide, no Clayton Oliver. It's been some time since he's missed a game. So huge opportunity for Port. I think they're a big chance. Squad will get trimmed back later today, which Rowie will have on his sports show. If they can win that, then I think we can say they're legitimate finals contenders. But it's a big task on Sunday in Alice Springs.
Absolutely. Good on you, Rennie.
Thanks, boys. Have a great one.
10-year warranty, 10-year cap price servicing, Agostino, Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Elizabeth. We're going to get some more Meat Tray Friday entries very shortly. You need to tell us the thing you can't live without. We've also got a Monado Safari Pass to give away if you can identify an animal sound that will play from back in Hindmarsh Square. We're at the market. Come down and say hi. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
Nobody likes to wait for a new car, so Wavell and Southern Mitsubishi will give you a $50 gift voucher to spend on anything you like while waiting for your new car to arrive. Take a test drive at Wavell and Southern Mitsubishi, driven by Australian Motors. T's and C's apply.
In tough times, it's the simple things that make a big difference. Like $15 schnitzel days at the Albion, Birkenhead Tavern and the Excelsior. We know the humble schnitty can't fix all our problems, but we do know it'll put a smile on your dial. $15 schnitty. Mondays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays at the Albion, the Birkenhead Tavern and the Excelsior. Trying to make the world a better place, one schnitty at a time. Gotta start somewhere. You just know it's a Barreau Hotel.
Adelaide property values are at an all-time high. They've grown by more than 25% over the past 12 months, with really strong buyer demand. In most areas, demand is still greater than supply, and vendors are regularly getting multiple offers for homes, with sold prices well above expectations.
Now, we know that our friends at Toop and Toop work across all suburbs, and we can tell you that right now in Torrens Park, they're working with 4,928 buyers, 5,221 in Prospect and 5,011 in Tusmore. And they're all searching for their perfect property in these specific locations.
If you're thinking of selling or would like to know how many buyers Toop and Toop are working with in your suburb, go to toop.com.au.
Invoicing can be like eating Brussels sprouts. Doing it is good for you, but it's so easy to put off. This will definitely help. It's called BizTrack. BizTrack is smart invoice processing. BizTrack works alongside other accounting software like Xero and MyOb. It makes invoicing a walk in the park, as in you'll actually have time to walk in the park. If you're a small to medium business, BizTrack will change your world. Visit bztrack.com. Invoicing done.
The Isuzu D-Max is born to tow. You can go your own way. Go your own way. With 3.5 tonne towing capacity, trailerless weight control and a reversing camera as standard across the range, now's the time to hitch up the boat, caravan or trailer and hit the road in the powerful 3-litre turbo diesel Isuzu D-Max. Search Isuzu D-Max.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head online to 5AA Facebook or search 5AA on YouTube. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Partly cloudy and 15 today with the 6:30 news. I'm Mel Usher.
Looking for the perfect winter exercise? Physio Extra offers clinical Pilates at 6 locations. PhysioExtra.com.
Ivana Trump, the first wife of former US President Donald Trump, has died in New York. Correspondent Alison Petrowski reports.
The 73-year-old former model and businesswoman died of a heart attack in her home in uptown Manhattan. Ivana Trump's family confirming her death in a statement. Ivana Trump was a survivor. She fled from communism and embraced this country. She taught her children about grit and toughness, compassion and determination. Donald Trump calling his ex-wife wonderful, beautiful and amazing. Ivana Trump grew up under communist rule in the former Czechoslovakia and moved to the United States in the 1970s, where she met and married then real estate tycoon Donald Trump in 1977. She's survived by her 3 children, Donald Jr., Ivanka and Eric, and her 10 grandchildren.
A new COVID vaccination clinic opens in Rundle Mall today to fast-track the rollout of the 4th jab. It's located in the Myer Centre, while the pop-up hub in the West Parklands is continuing. Meantime, the state opposition wants the free rapid antigen test scheme to be extended in SA because it's due to wind up next week. Shadow Health Minister Ashton Hearn wants Peter Malinauskas to take matters into his own hands.
We know that COVID cases are exploding right now, and now is not the time to be removing these basic protections for our most vulnerable. We should be doing everything that we possibly can to not only alleviate that pressure on our health system, but also keeping South Australians safe.
The Prime Minister will meet with state leaders on Monday in a snap national cabinet. Infectious diseases expert Professor Robert Boy says COVID continues to mutate, posing a challenge for health authorities.
It's changed so much. We don't really have a precedent with a previous virus that behaved in a way we say, oh yes, it's like that. It has some comparisons with other viruses, but other things are completely new and challenging and unpredictable.
Economic issues affecting our region will take centre stage at a global summit in Indonesia. Treasurer Jim Chalmers and Reserve Bank Governor Philip Lowe are travelling to Bali to attend the G20 Finance Ministers and Central Bank Governors meeting. Energy and food security, collective action on climate change and future pandemic preparedness will be discussed. Joe Biden is meeting with leaders in Saudi Arabia after wrapping up his visit to Israel. The US president is on a tour of the Middle East, vowing to promote American interests in the region. He says there are so many issues at stake.
I'll be carrying a direct message of peace and extraordinary opportunities that a more stable and integrated region could bring to the region and, quite frankly, the whole world.
Tens of thousands of Australian teenagers are gambling at what experts say are pathological levels. A team from Macquarie University has found extreme cases where children refuse to go to school and threaten self-harm. They say the behaviour can be addressed by targeting risk factors, including confidence and relationship issues. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
10-year warranty and 10-year capped price servicing at Agostino Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Elizabeth.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Mel. Port Adelaide will trim its squad of 26 back today ahead of Sunday's crucial clash against Melbourne in Alice Springs. The Power sit only one game outside the top 8 heading into the round, but must win to keep pace for the finals. Riley Bonner has been included in the squad as he recovers from a fractured cheekbone, while Melbourne will be without Clayton Oliver for the first time in more than 2 years because of a broken thumb. Meantime, Adelaide has left out Matt Crouch again, the former best and fairest winner sent back to the Sandful for the 3rd time this season. The Crows tackle Collingwood at home tomorrow. And round 18 gets underway tonight with the Bulldogs looking to keep their season alive when they take on St Kilda. Well, Aussie Cam Smith has made a strong start at the Open Championship at St Andrews after firing a 5-under round of 67, putting him in outright 3rd and only 3 shots behind American leader Cameron Young. There were plenty of highlights on the opening day with calm conditions for players. Englishman Ian Poulter making a stunning 160-foot birdie putt for eagle on the par 4 ninth hole.
How long would it take you to actually walk to the hole and take that thing out of it? Sees the funny side of it, though. Look at him.
Audio there thanks to Fox. Poulter finishing his round at 3 under. And Wallabies coach Dave Rennie has made 4 changes to his starting side for tomorrow's deciding third test against England at the SCG. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now the 5AA forecast, heading for a top of 15 today and partly cloudy. The weekend, showers increasing tomorrow 15, Sunday showers continuing 15, and then down to 13 on Monday. Right now it's 8 degrees. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Statewide Super is now Host Plus, an industry super fund for all Australians. That's a plus.
25 minutes to 7. Market abuzz with activity now. It usually sort of starts to spark into action in the half hour between 6 and 6:30. A lot of people having their breakfast, making their way through the market. Stalls are opening up at the moment. If you want to find us, we're in the southwest corner of the markets, up against the probably if you go into if you're in the car park, you catch the elevator down. At that entrance on Goodger Street is where you'll find David and I over the course of the next 3 hours or so. We're going to make tray to give away thanks to the excellent Ledoux Cox in the market. We're asking you, what's the thing you can't live without? We'll get to some more of your entries in a moment. But before we do that, I want to send a family off to the Monarto Safari Park, the perfect school holiday destination. Visit giraffes, lions, rhinos and more, monartosafari.com.au. You just need to tell us which animal makes this sound. They all sound deeply unpleasant.
They do. That sounds like something you don't want to be hanging around with. Like you don't want to be in that thing's cage.
No, you don't want it to be excited.
No.
When you're around.
I reckon that's a reasonably obvious one, isn't it?
Okay, yeah. It's more obvious than what we've had. That said, our listeners are savants when it comes to picking up.
They are.
It's never gotten past the second call.
No.
82230000. If you'd like to have a crack, you need to tell us which animal makes that sound. Let's go to Salisbury Heights. We might play it one more time for you, Gail. Have a listen. All right, Gail.
It sounds very ferocious, and I don't know if leopards are that ferocious, but my guess was a leopard, but it sounds a bit more ferocious than that.
So a leopard?
It's not a leopard,
It's
Gail.
not a leopard.
Sorry,
Gail.
Good guess, though.
I think she's in the right neck of the woods,
Yeah, I think so. Let's go to...
It's clearly not a chicken.
No, not
imagine if it was.
Or a rabbit. Let's go to Jim in Prospect.
That rabbit's dynamite.
Morning, Jim.
Morning, mate. Have we got a lion?
No, we do not have a lion.
That was my
Jim.
guess.
No, it is not a lion. Bit smaller. Nick in Burnside, good morning.
Morning, guys. Is it a cheetah?
It's not a cheetah, Nick. Bit slower. Let's go to Vic. Vic, what animal do you think it is?
It's a Clive Palmer.
Indistinguishable from this animal, but it's not Clive Palmer. Karen,
it doesn't
morning.
eat that much. We got Karen there?
Hello. Yeah, I am here. Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks, Karen.
Tiger?
It's not a tiger. This is
starts with an H.
This was one I'd say is a sort of a secondary feeder. They usually do the kill.
Okay.
These ones come in a little bit later.
What's the word? Carrion. Animals that feed on leftover bits and pieces.
Yes. Let's go.
Starts with an H.
Let's go to Angela in Kensington Park.
So it's not a cat.
No. Morning, Angela.
Good morning. Is it a hippo?
It's not a hippo.
Good
Angela.
guess, though.
Not a hippo. It's no, David. It's not a great guess. Tony and Henley Beach. Good morning.
Do they hunt in packs?
They hunt in packs. Morning, Tony.
Oh, hello. Is it a hyena?
It's
a hyena.
It is a hyena.
That's
beautifully
great.
done.
Well done, Tony.
Tony.
You are off to the Monarto Safari Park. Perfect school holiday destination. Visit giraffes, lions, rhinos and more. monartosafari.com.au.
You know, the thing about hyenas is their back legs are significantly shorter than their front legs. And God's made them that way specifically so that they can drag large pieces of dead stuff around. It's one of those moments where evolution isn't particularly pleasant.
Oh, well, you don't want to put yourself out when you You're carrying around your prey, do you?
Yeah, that's right.
Have a bad back, have you an occupational hazard.
And they stink.
The Automasters text line has some thoughts for us this morning. Marty in Aberfoyle Park, in relation to the beef patty burger ship load not turning up in Fiji, and hence Fiji going without Macca's burgers for the next week, says, if the ship carrying the coffee doesn't rock up, there'll be anarchy. You're right, Marty, and I'll be right at the front with a pitchfork and a, what's the other thing they have? A torch.
Torch and a pitchfork,
It's been a while since I've been at an angry mob. Someone says, can remember selling fresh rabbits at the market 2 for $5. So there you go. Victims
Seriously?
of inflation.
$2 for $5.
$28 now. Matt says stuff art rabbit stew, national dish of the Maltese. Beautiful stuff. Thank you for that. Dave the trucker says he couldn't do without a Cooper's mild ale. Everyone's playing on the food theme a little bit. Someone else said I could not do without a 12-hour slow-cooked pulled pork burrito from a Rebar Grill. I think the person is the grill master at the Rebar Grill.
I'm surprised he didn't mention the address for,
That's right.
On Prospect Road and also in Goodwood.
Mary in Prospect is on the line. What could you not live without, Mary?
My zip tap water, which has got the drinking water and also the boiling water for quick cooking.
Ooh.
And my iron, my Laura Star iron. It does the ironing for me.
Oh, lucky you.
Now that's
lovely,
That's
Mary.
an innovation. Good on you, Mary. Thank you. We've got one of those quick boil taps at work as well. They are very handy.
Oh, they're
instant
good.
boiling water tap.
What's yours, Will? Is there something... I actually, in all seriousness, the one thing I cannot function at all without is coffee. Like, I literally cannot start the day if I haven't had a little bit of caffeine.
I was watching...
Like this morning, this is my little keep cup from home with the beautiful...
you brought one from home.
Desert pea motif on it that I use. But I thought, coming in as early as we do, I thought maybe the coffee shops might be open, so I'll make an instant at home and bring it in my carry cup. But I literally can't even talk unless... Like, you know what I'm like. When we start
I've seen you. You're a mute.
I just sit like an inanimate object.
Dave in Clarence Gardens has called in. Morning to you, Dave.
Good morning, fellas. I can't go to bed at night without a couple of black IPAs from the Suburban Brew.
That's
fair enough.
One way to get a bit of shut-eye, Dave. It sounds very pleasant. Good
Very
on you, mate.
soothing.
Thank you. 82230000 is the number. 1827. Police and weather are coming up in just a moment, but we'll check traffic for the first time on this Friday morning. There's still time to join Samri's Bright Walk for a brighter future at samribright.org.au.
Morning, boys. Roads looking really good this morning, which is what you want to hear on a Friday. Simply some road works to keep in mind. At Sturt, changed traffic conditions there. Marion Road at South Road, that's with new asphalt that's gone down. Speeds reduced, no lines marked at the moment. And the Parklands, Rundle Road is closed between East Terrace and Kettleville Terrace for the Illuminate Festival. And Eastwood, keep an eye out for paving works happening today. That's Glen Osmond Road near Young Street. Starting to get busy, South Road at Edwardstown with a camera, Washington Drive at Craigmore. The King Winter Sale ends soon. Up to 50% off selected Australian-designed award-winning furniture. Sale ends soon. Visit the King Keswick showroom today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Hi, honey.
Hey, Mum. I'm just waiting at the emergency department.
Are you okay? What happened?
I twisted my ankle at training.
And you're at the ED.
Where else would I go?
Try icing it, love. Or I could take you to the GP or a pharmacy.
That's gone all over you. Let me wipe it up.
All good. Yeah. Mum, come and get me.
Is it really an emergency? Before visiting an emergency department or calling 000, call Health Direct on 1800 022 222 to find the best healthcare option for you. A message from the Government of South Australia.
Patience pays off, especially if you've been holding out for a great deal on a new Volkswagen. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen is now receiving truckloads of new Volkswagens. Yes, they're coming. And they're available at amazing prices. Remember Mawson Lakes Volkswagen for servicing too, with next day servicing and free loan cars. Get a great deal on Volkswagen now. Don't dilly-dally, dawdle or delay. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, just a short drive from the city.
Sold by McGain again.
And as you all know, homes are still selling real fast, so it's important to get along to these open inspections.
Tomorrow from 12 to 12:30, Mike Dobbin and Zoe Ball are opening 16 Silcock Circuit, Greenwith. This stunning family home opposite a large reserve features 4 bedrooms, 2 separate living areas, ensuite, plus a large patio entertaining area. There's also a double lock-up carport, a large workshop and views, 675 to 695K.
It sounds great, and so does this one. Also tomorrow from 2 to 2:30 p.m, Mike and Zoe are opening 12 Lawson Road, Happy Valley. This beautifully presented 3-bedroom home features a renovated kitchen, lounge and dining with cathedral ceilings, heating and cooling, and a timber deck overlooking an in-ground swimming pool. Just $589 to $629K.
Take a look at these properties and all the McGain listings at mcgain.com.au.
Harvey Norman, your premium Optus dealer. Receive a $700 Harvey Norman gift card when you connect to a new $69 a month, 24-month SIM-only plan with 80 gigabytes of data for use in Oz. Available now at Harvey Norman. Offer available until withdrawn. Not available with any other offers. Minimum plan cost $1,656. Terms and conditions apply. Visit Harvey Norman, your premium Optus dealer.
9 News has the experience to break the news. Made in Adelaide for Adelaide. 9 News.
Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Statewide Super is now Host Plus, an industry super fund for all Australians. That's a plus.
15 to 7, Ryan Fitzgerald coming up very shortly if you need a bit of help on your footy tips. It's good. I mean, I'm a big fan of Thursday night football, but it's nice having Fitzy with the full suite of games that he can give you a little bit of guidance on for once.
No, exactly.
A return to tradition for at least today, but I suspect not from next year onward. It's caught on a little bit, this Thursday night football
Has
thing.
it ever?
Let's talk about the weather for today and the weekend, because there's some rain on the way. Tom Bowick, the senior forecaster at the Bureau this morning, is on the line. Morning to you, Tom.
G'day, Dave and Will.
So what have we got on the way for the rest of today?
Yeah, look, so it's clear at the moment, but there's some high clouds sort of over the west of the state, which is expected to be sort of moving over the Adelaide area. Hence, we do have a partly cloudy forecast for today. But, so I guess temperature-wise, pretty typical winter day, 15 degrees for a maximum. Similar for Elizabeth and Glenelg, 14 at Nollunga and 13 at Mount Barker. But despite the cloud, though, it will be remaining as a dry day. And then for the weekend, conditions are changing. We do have a frontal system sort of moving across from the west. There'll be some showers developing, so probably after dawn, maybe if we're lucky, you might get through to the late part of the morning there. Timing's a little uncertain, but there will be some showers sort of developing on Saturday with a maximum of 15 degrees. And a couple of fronts sort of coming through for overnight Saturday, then into Sunday as well. We'll keep some shower activity going for Sunday with a maximum of 15 degrees. You'll also notice the winds picking up as well on the weekend as well, so some fresh winds coming in. The showers will be easing next week, but some pretty cold days coming up with 13 just for Monday and only 12 for Tuesday. Back to a mostly sunny day for next Wednesday, still only 13 degrees though, and then the following Thursday, 15 degrees. Should be pretty well dry as well there, guys.
Good for school holidays though, at least it's dry and sunny. You can get out and keep yourselves active and ward off the cold by running around.
Good on you, Tom. Have a good weekend, mate.
Cheers, Tom.
Bye. Tom Bowick, Senior Forecaster at the Bureau. Let's head to Sapole. Senior Constable Matt Brown is on the line. There's been a crash that Sapole have been monitoring on the Spencer Highway. What's happened there, man?
Well, 4 people were in a serious condition following a crash at Clements Gap. And just after 4:30 p.m. yesterday, police and emergency services were called to the Spencer Highway following a head-on collision between a Honda sedan and a Mitsubishi SUV. And the driver and sole occupant of the Honda, a 38-year-old woman from Port Pirie, was taken to the local hospital with serious injuries. And the Mitsubishi driver, a 27-year-old woman from Kadina, was airlifted from the scene and taken to the Royal Adelaide Hospital, also with serious injuries. 3 children in the Mitsubishi, a 4-year-old boy, a 3-year-old girl, and a 1-year-old boy were also airlifted to the Women's and Children's Hospital for treatment. And major crash officers attended the scene to examine the circumstances of the collision. And the Spencer Highway was closed for several hours, but has since reopened. So we're still appealing for witnesses and anyone who may have been in the area or saw the crash. Please call Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000.
And Matt, also 2 people have been arrested after stealing a car in Prospect.
That's right, David. Just after midnight, Polair were doing some proactive flying out of the northern suburbs when they saw a car on Coombe Road at Allenby Gardens. Now, patrols on the ground were notified of the area and located the black Volkswagen and attempted to stop the vehicle. The car took off, but fortunately, Polly was able to follow it onto East Avenue onto Grange Road. And police attempted to spike the vehicle at the intersection of Prospect Road and Rose Street at Prospect, and the spiking was successful. And a short while later, the car stopped on Main North Road at Paraka. The front passenger got out of the vehicle, and the 32-year-old man from Kilburn was spoken to and was arrested and charged with numerous offences, including carrying an offensive weapon, and after police located a knife and a hammer on him. Now, the Volkswagen then continued on Main North Road and through the northern suburbs. The car was spiked again at the intersection of Peachy Road and Charlotte Street out at Smithfield Plains. The car then travelled into Blakeview, where it was abandoned in Butler Court, and Polly tracked the remaining two occupants, and they were located nearby. Now, the 29-year-old from Mitchell Park was arrested and charged with driving dangerously to escape a police pursuit, illegal use of a motor vehicle, and a number of other offences. And a woman was also arrested with some offences as well. So some good work by patrols and the eyes in the sky as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Good team effort there. Thanks for that, Matt. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, guys. You too.
Well, it's that excellent time on a Friday morning when we catch up with the man himself, Ryan Fitzgerald, thanks to Rainwise Pools, family-owned building pools in SA for over 15 years. Google Rainwise Pools Adelaide. Fitzy, good morning to you.
The sweet, sweet goodness and Pembo. How are you, boys?
Mate, I'm good. All the better for hearing your voice. You're a multimedia juggernaut these days, aren't you, Fitzy? You're going to be on the box tonight.
Well, no, it was last night, Pembo. You should have known that.
Of course.
It was a great episode of The Front Bar, and mate, we've been.
Oh no! I set the VCR. I'll be able to watch it tonight.
Yeah, well, can you send me over that VHS tape when you finish, and I'll swap you with a blank beta tape that I have as well. But no, it was. We've been trying to secure the Jarman brothers for quite a while, and it was so good. Do you know what? Watching the highlights of Darren and Andrew Jarman, and everyone talks about Darren and the success that he had, but Andrew won 2 Magarys 10 years apart from each other and won 5 Foss Williams medals in State of Origin games. It's unbelievable.
And the thing too, Andrew Jarman was the ultimate showman, and he had just an awesome cockiness about him. Remember the great footage of him bowing in front of the fans? He had a Warney-esque sort of quality about him, didn't he?
He did, Pimbo, and we just characters like that these days. And I know Jack Ginnivan, Collingwood's getting absolutely spanked by supporters and that now, but you need people like that around clubs. They keep clubs going. They keep the fans going to games. So, yeah, we need more Andrew Jarmans, I think.
Well, I think it's become a really unpleasant trend. A lot of the footy shows, you see people tutting that kind of behaviour now and them being attacked on social media. I mean, think about a guy like Acker, who was as mad as a cut snake, but he was one of the reasons why the Brisbane Lions was such an exciting team to watch for so long.
Well, I agree. And remember the handstand he used to do at the end of every game over near the crowd?
Yeah.
And even though the fans loved him, and even though I think his teammates ended up hating his guts, but it was all about the entertainment, and he did it very well, Acker.
That iconic goal celebration too, when he kicked almost 2 goal of the years in about 3 minutes one day, and he just he play acted. He was the most shocked man in Australia about what he'd just done. I think it's one of the best goal celebrations there's ever been in football. All right,
You forget that they won 3 premierships in a row, that team. They have to be considered one of the best of all time.
Yeah, 100%. Hey, mate, we'll rip into the tips. So tonight we've got the Dogs and the Saints.
I'm going to go the Saints. The Saints are playing better footy now, so I think they'll bounce back and they'll beat the Bulldogs tonight.
Now, they're 1-15 down the road here. Can the Crows make amends against the Pies for last week?
Well, boys, I'm at the airport now. I'm coming over for the game. So this is my only game I've been able to attend this year with junior footy just taking my commitments away. So I'm hoping that they can. Look, we just need more endeavour. We need to hit our targets. When we do that, we can beat anyone. So I'm going to back the Crows as a roughie.
Yeah, I reckon they're going to get up. Then Giants and Brisbane in Canberra.
I'll go Brisbane to win that game. Giants are in a bit of trouble.
North v the Tigers.
Richmond will win that game, even though they've got quite a few injuries at the moment. They'll still get over the Roos.
Huge game at the MCG, Carlton versus Geelong.
Yeah, that's going to be a massive game. We're talking about the best forwards in the game at the moment in Charlie Curnow, Harry McKay, and also you've got Tommy Hawkins up there as well for Geelong. I think the Cats are just on fire at the moment, so I'm going to go Geelong there.
Then Freo Sydney in the West.
Yeah, if it wasn't in the West, I'd probably pick the Swans, but I'll go the Dockers to win that game.
Hawks and the Weagles in Melbourne.
Yeah, Hawthorn, well, if they produce the effort they did against the Crows last week, they should be able to beat the West Coast Eagles.
Now, this is massive. This Port, without any exaggeration, playing to keep their season alive against the Demons. Can they do it?
Well, where is this game? Is it up in Cairns?
Yeah, it's at that
Traeger Park.
No, Darwin. Yeah, Darwin.
I'm going to go the two Adelaide teams as roughies this week, boys. I think Port Adelaide can beat them up there.
Yep, and finally, Essendon and the Suns.
Yeah, I'm going to go. Essendon are playing really good footy, so I'll go Essendon to beat the Suns.
Good on you, Fitzy. Have a great time here, mate. Hopefully we'll bump into you at the game.
Good on you, boys. Thank you.
Good on you, Fitzy. Thanks to Rainwise Pools, family-owned building pools in SA for over 15 years. Google Rainwise Pools Adelaide.
A lot of shopping centres are the same. Same predictable shops, same people. But if you want something new, check out Newton Central with Drake's, Barossa Fine Foods, Seafood Works, Target and many more specialty shops. It's the kind of centre where you can get some retail therapy, do the weekly shop, or gather all the fine ingredients you need for an impressive family feast. Want something new in your life? Choose a new local. Choose Newton Central, Gorge Road, Newton.
Rollerco would never boast about how good they are at fixing sliding doors and windows, so I'll do it for them. For nearly 40 years, Rollerco have been making and fixing all sorts of sliding doors and windows. They seriously know everything. And if by chance they don't have the parts you need, they'll do their best to find a solution. Plus, if you order online and use the code FIVEaa, you'll get 10% off. rollerco.com.au. I'll get you rolling.
Are you one of those people who lie awake at night worrying? Wouldn't it be great to calm your anxious thoughts and just drift away into a blissful sleep? Well, then Caruso's Mind Ease could be just what you need.
This ad takes on a totally different complexion with your voice beaming over the Central Market, asking everyone all of a sudden, are you one of those people that lies awake wondering? And it sort of has this sort of ephemeral sort of feel to it all of a sudden. Caruso's Mind Ease is a once-a-day capsule that contains lavender oil to help relieve the symptoms of mild anxiety, restlessness and excess nervous energy, promoting a deep sleep and supporting refreshing sleep in adults.
So if you'd like to worry less and sleep more, try Caruso's Mind Ease today. Caruso's Mind Ease, available from leading pharmacies and health stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use. If symptoms persist, see your health professional.
It's value the Australian way at Coles with great fresh specials this week. Like Coles Kestrel washed potatoes, 100% South Australian grown and just $3.50 for a 2 kilo bag. This week at Coles. Offer ends Thursday.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head online to 5AA Facebook or search 5AA on YouTube. Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Statewide Super is now Host Plus, an industry super fund for all Australians. That's a plus.
2 to 7, coming to you live from the Adelaide Central Markets this morning. If you were to draw a sort of a triangle with 3 points on it, one would be the Atlas Continental Cafe, Zuma's Cafe would be the other, and then we'd be the other point if you're trying to locate us in the Central Markets to come down and say hi this morning. You can win yourself a meat tray, of course, too. It is a Friday morning. And thanks to the team at Les Deux Cox, we've got a meat tray to give away, and we're asking you, what's the thing you couldn't live without? The poor people of Fiji having to go without Macca's for a week. Some people online
doing good, I reckon.
I couldn't go without that for a week. Yeah, I think we could all survive it. I think in a literal sense.
Yeah,
it's
I think
one of the things you can do without.
Yeah, although
Fiji's not fun in that.
Fiji's not overly endowed with terrific food.
Right.
So maybe they're a bit more Macca's dependent. Who knows?
Well, let us know what you think. 8223 You can shoot us a text on the Automasters text line as well, 0448 08 1395. One for you, David. Dad Joke says, this texter,
2 hyenas went to board a plane. The host said, sorry, only 1 carry-on allowed. Someone also asked David, is that a Where's Wally beanie? No, it's got a sort of a blue line to it, doesn't it? It's not just, maybe on the live stream.
That's grey.
Is it?
Yeah, I reckon that's grey. Or is it blue?
That middle one is blue, between the black and
is
the red.
Is that blue?
Oh, I don't know.
I reckon it's grey.
I'm not good at colours.
That's like that dress thing, the thing that went crazy on the internet.
Oh, yeah. Was it
all those years ago? Was it gold or silver?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yuri in Beaumont has called in. Yuri, what could you not do without? Good, Yuri.
We're great, Yuri.
What is it, Yuri? Is it your MCC membership?
I think we lost him.
Yuri,
I think maybe that was the point Yuri was trying to make.
He just said, calm the D's.
Yeah, that's right. That's his catch cry.
Okay.
Remember we got him on the Monday after the grand final?
I guess it's an entry. They're all in the running to win the meat tray. Yeah, why not? Clinton from Daviston says, good morning, Dave and Will. Can't live without the sunrise or a Luxor from the Luxor House right here in the Central Markets. Have a great day. Good on you, Clinton. You're in the running to win the meat tray as well. It's right on 7 o'clock. 5AA News is coming up. Some big stories we're going to take you through right after the 7 o'clock news, including this pre-trial debate around the horrific Lamborghini death of Sophia Naismith that we spoke about previously. The other thing we'll talk about as well is Anthony Albanese convening a meeting of Cabinet on Monday to discuss COVID relief payments. This is one that's going to be must listen to for everyone who's involved in the hospitality sectors or other casual work. So we're going to get into that. And we'll also talk to you about the abnormal inspiration for a new film, a moment of interview madness that's going to be made into a feature film. That's coming up next.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio, and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Partly cloudy 15 today with the 7 o'clock news. I'm Mel Usher.
FIVEaa Extra is a registered NDIS provider, so let them support you in achieving your goals. PhysioExtra.com.
4 people are in a serious condition following a head-on collision in the state's mid-north. It happened on the Spencer Highway at Clements Gap late yesterday afternoon. Senior Constable Matt Brown says a Honda sedan made contact with a Mitsubishi SUV.
The driver and sole occupant of the Honda, a 38-year-old woman from Port Pirie, was taken to the local hospital with serious injuries. The Mitsubishi driver, a 27-year-old woman from Kadina, was airlifted from the scene and taken to the Royal Adelaide Hospital, also with serious injuries.
3 children in the Mitsubishi, aged 1, 3 and 4, were airlifted to the Women's and Children's for treatment. Major Crash is investigating. Ivana Trump, the first wife of Donald Trump, has died at the age of 73. The couple were married for 15 years and had 3 children together, Donald Jr., Ivanka and Eric. In a statement, the family has described her as a survivor who taught her children about grit, compassion and determination. The Treasurer and Reserve Bank Governor are travelling to Indonesia to attend a meeting of the world's major economies. Jim Chalmers will use the trip to strengthen bilateral relationships with key partners by touting Australia's new climate ambitions. Energy and food security, climate change, tax and pandemic preparedness will also dominate talks. Well, the Prime Minister has called a snap national cabinet meeting to discuss rising coronavirus cases. Leaders in 4 states and unions want Canberra to bring back pandemic support payments which ended in June. The emergency meeting will be held on Monday. And a new COVID vaccination clinic opens in the city today. It's located in the Maya Centre. Over 30s are being encouraged to get their 4th dose after the eligibility changes this week. Meantime, the state opposition wants the free rapid antigen test scheme to be extended in SA. Canberra has been offering pensioners and concession card holders up to 10 free kits every 3 months, but that is about to end. Another winter event kicks off in Adelaide tonight. The Guitar Festival will run until July 24, featuring world-class performances, workshops and panel discussions. Tickets are still available. Artistic Director Slava Gregorian says there's plenty of free events as well.
We've got a guitar expo, local makers in the Dunstan Playhouse foyer. We've got a Yamaha Come and Try bass. People are really, encouraged to go and see what they have to offer. And there's also a Yamaha exhibition this year.
Actor Kevin Spacey has appeared in a London court charged with sexual assault. Carrie-Anne Greenbank has more.
Hollywood actor Kevin Spacey has pleaded not guilty to 5 charges, including 4 of sexual assault. The 62-year-old entering the not guilty pleas today in front of a judge at London's Old Bailey. The House of Cards actor is now set to stand trial in June next year. As it's been revealed, he was set to star in an upcoming film about Genghis Khan, but has now been replaced.
Now to 5AA Sport.
New Mitsubishi Triton with 10-year warranty, 10-year capped price servicing at Agostino Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Elizabeth.
It's over to Tom Wren.
Thank you, Mel. Adelaide captain Rory Sloane says he still holds out hope he can play with Matt Crouch next season, despite the veteran being dropped for a 3rd time this year. The Crows have also dropped James Rowe and Jackson Haitley for tomorrow's clash against Collingwood at Adelaide Oval. Sloane telling Rowe he's played a lot of matches with Crouch and would like to add to that tally when he returns from his own injury.
It would be incredibly tough for him, and yeah, I want to make sure that I can come back and play some footy with Matty, and yeah, but and again he just keeps responding. So yeah, hopefully this is the same from him this week.
Port Adelaide takes on Melbourne in Alice Springs on Sunday. They'll trim their squad of 26 later today. Riley Bonner's been named after missing last week with a fractured cheekbone. To golf now, American Cameron Young is the man to catch after the opening round of the Open Championship in Scotland. He fired a stunning round of 8 under to finish 2 shots clear of Rory McIlroy, while Aussie Cameron Smith is a shot further back in outright 3rd at 5 under. To soccer, and it's full time in women's Euro matches this morning with Italy and Iceland playing out a 1-1 draw, while France beat Belgium 2-1. And British cyclist Thomas Pidcock has taken out stage 12 of the Tour de France. Jonas Vingegaard retains the overall yellow jersey. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
Empress Homewares, 60 The Parade Norwood, Adelaide's most eclectic furniture decor specialist. One-off pieces on sale now.
Looking good on the roads for a Friday, which is always nice. Simply some road works to keep in mind. In the Parklands, Rundle Road is closed between East Terrace and Kettleville Terrace. That's for the Illuminate Festival. At Sturt, you'll find changed traffic conditions there. Marion Road at South Road, that's due to new asphalt going down. No lines marked and speeds reduced. And Eastwood, keep an eye out for paving works today. That's Glen Osmond Road near Young Streets. And we've got cameras Hamblin Road, Elizabeth Downs, and Old South Road at Old Ranella. Head into your local RGA this week for half-price Kellogg's $2.90 to 380 gram cereals, like Crunchy Nut, just $2.75. And July 19. Participating stores only. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, partly cloudy, 15 today, showers increasing tomorrow, 15, then continuing Sunday, 15, and partly cloudy Monday, 13. Right now, it's 8 degrees. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Statewide Super is now Host Plus, an industry super fund for all Australians. That's a plus.
Broadcasting live from the Adelaide Central Market this morning. Nice antidote to the dark start. I notice outside there's a bit of light creeping through now. Maybe that's what passes for a sunrise in the depths of winter. But in the market, it's bright.
Yeah.
From the moment we came in here at before 6 o'clock, the place is lit up. You've got no sense that it's dark and miserable outside.
The really great thing about the market is that even when the rest of the city's asleep, the market is buzzing from an early hour. You'll laugh at this, Will, but the 5 years I worked here at McMahon's Fruit and Veg, I used to start twice a week at 5 o'clock in the morning. And you probably think it's a miracle that I made it in on time. The simple reason is that my boss, Steph, he used to pick me up at Mum and Dad's in the fruit truck, and he would have gone out usually at 2:30 in the morning, out to Paraka, to the wholesale markets, filled the truck up with everything we needed for the market days, and then would unload the truck. That's why we get in so early. We'd make all the pyramids of apples where you get crepe paper, and you quickly dip folded crepe paper in water, and then you make this pyramid shape, and you sit all the apples there, and the crepe paper dries, and that's how you make the apple pyramids that you see at all the fruit shops.
Is this a long-winded way of you asking for a lift into work in the morning?
Well, look, I know Grange and Wayville aren't exactly sort of
it's not a natural
cheek by jowl, but it's only about 15 minutes out of your way. If you could see fit to do that, that'd be. But the great thing is, we'd get in at that time of day, and there'd be people everywhere. All the coffee shops, the bakers had often been here for 3 hours, 4 hours. And it used to be this secret thing, Friday nights, because we used to knock off at 9 o'clock at night, but then we'd have to start really early in the morning. And quite a few people who worked at the market, we used to go to the pub, and some nights we'd come back here to sleep, and we'd call out to the security guard at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. He'd let us in, and we'd climb up into the top of the fruit shop, and we'd sleep on piles of potato sacks, so that way we're ready for work the next day at 5 a.m.
Commitment to the cause. Let's get to some of the news stories that are knocking around this morning. We'll start with a local one that back on the 22nd of June 2019, or probably the 23rd, was a massive talking point on 5AA Breakfast and right around Adelaide. And now Alexander Campbell is standing trial for causing the death of Sophia Naismith, who was 15 years old when she was killed. The trial is to determine dangerous driving. Mr. Campbell was behind the wheel of a $330,000 white 2016 Lamborghini. He'd owned it for about 5 months at the time of the crash. Now, he's pled guilty to aggravated driving without due care, but denies he was driving dangerously. There was a pre-trial debate about whether people who had seen his car fishtailing around earlier, whether their evidence was relevant and admissible. The lawyer for Mr. Campbell, Craig Pidcock, said those witnesses should be dismissed because of their relevance to what ultimately happened later that day. But it sounds like the evidence was determined to be admissible and does have value, according to the presiding judge, about whether Mr. Campbell was aware of the dangers of rapidly accelerating. Here is lawyer Craig Pidcock for Mr. Campbell.
Sometimes, with the best will in the world, there are accidents, and that's what this was.
Now, I'm going to break the habit of a lifetime, Will. I'm not going to say a single word about this trial until it's over.
I think that's safest. Let's talk federal politics. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has agreed to a snap meeting of National Cabinet on Monday to confront the COVID winter crisis. This is backlash, basically, from state leaders that's brought this about, and it comes as a result of the decision to axe the $750 a week self-isolation payment. Now, I was speaking to someone who works in hospitality yesterday who made the point that payment ended on the 30th of June. We are 2 weeks later in the midst of a new wave where it feels like everyone's got COVID. And the person suggested to me that perhaps it should be no surprise to policymakers that if an occupation full of casual workers who can't afford to take days off suddenly have the support payment removed and they're in a position where they're frequently knocking around with people, you might get a COVID wave.
Yes. Yeah.
Like this may have been foreseeable.
There would be hundreds and hundreds of people in Australia who, for financial reasons, and we're in the middle of a cost of living crisis as well.
Yes.
So if you're feeling slightly off, because part of the problem is that everybody knows somebody who's had COVID and has breezed through it. So there's, and particularly for younger people, most Australians laugh at the idea of getting COVID. So if you're a tradie, or if you're someone who works in hospitality and you know you're not going to get any money if you don't go to work, and you've got mates who've had COVID, they said, oh yeah, I had a bit of a fever for 2 hours and I woke up the next day and I felt fine. I had a bit of a cough, a bit of a sniffle. Like, most people do not have, and this isn't like me blithely dismissing the fact that hundreds and hundreds of people have actually died from the thing, but the mindset, particularly among the young, is that COVID is a bit of a walk in the park. So in that environment, if you know you're not going to get any money, even if you think you've got it, or you might have it, there'll be hundreds of people still going to work.
Absolutely. People that, and so when you think of that, okay, so the burden, the impost on you is to go pay for testing, repeated testing to get done with the subsidies for pensioners and other people. But for people that work, you have to pay anyway. But so you've got to go pay to get repeatedly tested. You forego all the money you earn in a week, work-wise, and at the same time you're sitting down and watching the news every night and finding out there are thousands upon thousands of people that are getting it.
Yeah.
And I think the easy conclusion that's drawn is, well, these people are all going to get it anyway. It's out there.
Yeah.
What's going to matter why do I have to miss a week of work? And here we are. This is no surprise that we're here. This is remarkable. Do you remember this interview?
Anthony Albanese will hold the emergency meeting with state leaders on Monday.
Not Anthony Albanese. An infamous interview in recent memory.
There's a slight problem with the sweating,
because I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat, or I didn't sweat at the time.
That's Prince Andrew in his disastrous interview on the UK TV back in 2019. He's already said he couldn't sweat. He had intimate knowledge of a pizza shop that he was at many years earlier. It was to do with his association with Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein, of course. Well, it's set to be made, that interview, into a feature film.
Oh, really?
They're going to do a film about how the interview was organised, how it was cancelled, the bits beforehand and afterward. Who do you think, of all English actors, has the appropriate level of foppishness and...
I would put my house on it being Hugh Grant.
It is Hugh Grant has been slated to play the Duke of York. Not confirmed yet. He's in the running, but obviously I think many people have drawn the same conclusion you have.
It'd be a really good movie because there's a fascinating backstory to it involving a PR company that was trying to manage Andrew's public engagements over all of the questions that he was facing. And apparently Andrew he's that dangerous sort of combination of utter stupidity and irrepressible self-belief, where like, the guy is profoundly dumb but convinced of his own righteousness. And apparently this PR firm was trying to tell him that he needed to pull back, whereas his idea was, no, I've got this. I'm going out on the front foot, and I'm gonna knock all these allegations down one by one. And in so doing, created what I think is, without a doubt, name a funnier interview in world history than that one.
I don't think there is one. And here's what will be sure to give you some real insight. The whole movie is based on a book by a former producer on the program. So there's a producer who was working on the show that's written this book about how they approached Buckingham Palace. It fell through. They did rehearsals for the interview and how that all played out, and the aftermath as well. So I think this is one that we're certainly going to look forward to catching up and seeing. 16 after 7, Peter in Woodville's called in. Morning to you, Peter.
Morning. There was a character in the market used to sit on the Goodger Street entrance, and he had about 10 or more little dogs on leashes, and they'd be barking like mad, and he'd have a sign there, please do not touch the dogs. But I can't remember what type of breed they were. Early 60s he was there. And the old famous porn star, Laurie Treadray on the corner, and the old Butcher Seville O'Connell. They're the three characters of the market that I remember.
Do you remember there was that fantastic... there was that, I don't know what the dogs were, Peter. Do you remember that amazing tobacconist over the road on Grote Street? They used to sell pipe tobacco, and you'd walk in there and it just smelt like this beautiful sort of scent of rum and tobacco leaves.
They had cigars in there, and they were $70 each.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of the tobacconist. It was amazing. Yeah. The beautiful shop with all that timber panelling. Yeah. No, great call, mate. Thank you.
Good on you, Peter. Thank you. If anyone can tell us breed of the dogs for Peter's benefit, let us know.
Yeah.
Text us on the Auto Masters text line 0448 08 1395. You can call into the conversation. You can win yourself a meat tray today too, thanks to the team at Les Deux Coqs who are at the market. You can come and see them this weekend, Adelaide Central Market, 8223 0000. Tell us something that you couldn't live without. We're getting some texts. We'll get to those very shortly, and we'll talk sport with Stephen Rowe in just a moment. But first, let's check traffic. There's still time to join Samri's Bright Walk for a brighter future at samribright.org.au.
Thanks, Will. At Parafield Gardens, got traffic lights playing up there this morning. It's on the Salisbury Highway near Shepperton Road. At Sturt, there are changed traffic conditions on Marion Road at South Road due to work. Speeds are reduced there. No lines marked, so take care. And in the Parklands, Rundle Road is closed between East Terrace and Kettleville Terrace. That's for the Illuminate Festival. Busy at the moment, Bolivar Road intersection at the Northern Connector with a camera, Baines Road at Morford Vale. Only 3 days left in Harris Scarf stocktake sale with 40% off homewares in Manchester, 20% off electrical, 30% off apparel and more. Must end Sunday at Harris Scarf. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Leon Biner.
Australian retail groups such as Bunnings and Kmart are being investigated over their use of facial recognition technology in stores amid privacy concerns. Emeritus Professor of Law and Criminal Justice, Professor Rick Saar.
9 till 12 weekdays.
What is it we have to be careful of and why?
The whole idea of facial recognition is a very scary thing in the wrong hands. We never know where that material is going to be stored.
As SA as Leon Biner. As SA as AA.
The Care Alert Smart Dialer is a personal alert system that has saved many lives around Australia. Did you know that a recent survey shows nearly 80% of seniors view personal alert systems as an essential device to offer peace of mind? That's because it provides safety and security if a sudden accident or illness were to happen to them. Care Alert has a range of products to suit anyone. Whether you want at-home protection or if you like to be out and about, Care Alert can tailor-suit a system to your requirements and provide emergency assistance with a simple press of a button. Plus, how's this for a backup feature that no one else offers? If there's a mobile outage or SIM card failure, the Care Alert Smart Dialer can still contact 000 in an emergency. That's a brilliant feature. The Care Alert Smart Dialer, a life-saving product. If you have My Aged Care or NDIS funding, it could be free. For more info, call 1300 75 85 95 or go to carealert.com.au.
The mid-year event is on at Solitaire Maserati. With the Levante SUV available for immediate delivery, now is the time to own one of the world's most desired luxury performance brands. Book a test drive at solitairemaserati.com.au. DL 65541.
There's no blueprints to your new custom-built Beechwood home. Well, not yet anyway. But together with Beechwood, it won't take long to turn your ideas into sketches, then drawings, and finally a home you can live a beautiful life in. That's the really exciting thing about building with Beechwood Homes. They'll build the home you want. So collect your thoughts, your ideas, your Pinterest boards, whatever, and let's talk. Because life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home.
Where do you get the chance to win a car and some cash every weekend? Sky City. Where else? Every Friday, we're giving away a new MG3 worth 20k. Simply swipe your membership card at any kiosk, print your ticket and enter it into the barrel. Entry is free, but you must be present to win. Sky City. T's and C's apply. Visit skycityadelaide.com.au for details. Licence number T22/759.
Hi, I'm Victoria from The Family Cook. I'm passionate about cooking wholesome, fresh and delicious meals. We're the only meal delivery service based in South Australia using hand-selected premium ingredients such as free-range chicken, grass-fed beef, Australian fish and locally sourced vegetables and herbs. Our customers love it and I can guarantee you'll love it too. And we're proudly an NDIS provider. Jump on board thefamilycook.com.au.
I can hear on a boat. I can hear in the shower. I can even hear when I swim.
Some of that's down to Ordeo Life, the world's first waterproof rechargeable hearing aids. Call Connect Hearing now for your free 10-day trial on 1300 520 804.
9 News has the experience to break the news. Made in Adelaide, for Adelaide. 9 News.
Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Statewide Super is now Host Plus, an industry super fund for all Australians. That's a plus.
22 minutes after 7. Take more Meat Tray Friday entries shortly. Ratio Fantasia, not too far away. Looking forward to catching up with the Ratio for a couple of weeks off. That's after 7:30 today. John Blake before 8 o'clock. We have the Meat Tray today that we are giving away thanks to the excellent butcher down here at the market, Ledoux Cox. I'm embarrassed now to say it, and I've probably been mispronouncing it all morning because we're here joined by Audrey from the butcher to talk a little bit about this. You've only been in Adelaide for what, 12 months, a year you were saying?
Yes, 12 months, a little bit more than 12 months.
A little bit more than 12 months. So what brought you to Adelaide?
Well, I love there is all the season here. Like I've been in Northern Territory and the weather is nice, but when it's the wet season, it's too wet.
Yep.
So we came back to Adelaide, and since we stay here, because I think we fall in love to Adelaide.
It feels very European, the Central Market, doesn't it?
Yes,
Well,
it's the only place.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. Because we were just chatting off air about the French city of Nîmes, where I went a few years ago.
Yeah.
And the market here feels a lot like the market there.
It's the only place in Australia that I found that I feel like it's a little bit the same in Europe.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah. So the business, Will and I, as you quite clearly understand, speak terrible French or don't even speak French at all. So it means the two roosters. Is that correct?
The two roosters, yes.
The two roosters. And South Australians, we know a lot about Italian small goods. We know about salami and cacciatore sausage because of all the Italian migrants. We know about German bratwursts and knockwursts and weisswursts from all of the German migrants, but we didn't get the French migrant, so we don't know much about what you guys call charcuterie.
Charcuterie. So we have different type of charcuterie, but the best one, that's the only thing that we are doing in South Australia. We are the only one who's doing that. It's the pâté en croûte. It's a pâté recovered with a pastry on the top. Today we are proposing 5 different pâté en croûte, but usually we are proposing between 3 or 4, and it's the famous one that we have in the shop.
And they're works of art too, because the patterns on them and the way you put the gelatin on top of the terrine, like they're beautiful looking.
It's few days work, so it's simple. When you do it few times, you say that it's simple, but when you see it, you say, it's beautiful. You are putting a lot of work in it. It's true, we are putting a lot of things inside, a lot of work, but at the end we are very happy because the people that are coming and they say, this is beautiful, and they are buying it, and they are coming back to buying it.
What is the difference between a salami and a saucisson? You guys call it a sausage, is saucisson here, is that right?
Saucisson, yeah. The saucisson that we have, so we have 4 different types in the shop. So it's more a dry saucisson because before selling it, you need to dry it up a little bit.
Yeah.
It's the process just of the saucisson. So this is the difference between both of them. I would say that the salami is every other thing than the saucisson. It's not dry.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, I love your shop. It's so good. I go there a lot. And it's good if you've got people coming around for dinner and you want to impress them and you're lazy, just go and buy some terrine, some roulettes.
It's very nice.
A couple of your excellent saucissons.
You also can come on Friday nights because we are doing different type of, we are proposing different type. We have the charcuterie platter.
Yeah, right.
We have all the charcuterie. You can choose 3 different things from the charcuterie display.
And what eat here in the market?
Yeah, here in the market every Friday.
Yeah, right.
And you have 2 glasses of wine, so it's basically for 2 people.
Look at David. Look how excited he is.
I might just stay here. What time does it start? 5 o'clock? We can stay for another 12 hours, can't we?
Well, I think it's achievable. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for the meat tray as well.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
I hope you're going to like it. So I brought you the chicken one, chicken, lemon and mustard. We were used to doing it, but we stopped doing it because we're proposing other pâté en croûte. And for the Bastille Day, for the Bastille Week, let's say, we are proposing this one as well. And today we have the VIP one. It's with foie gras inside. It's very nice. You need to come to try it.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. Lovely to meet you. Thanks for being part of Meat Tray Friday as well. We really appreciate it. All right, let's turn our attention to sport quickly before we get to the 7:30 news. Book your service online at North Point Toyota to win the cost back. It is the North Point way. Last night in the program, the hot topic among Crows fans and football watchers, it was about the future of Matt Crouch, and Stephen Rowe had his say.
I'll say it for the 100th time, in my opinion, he's still the club's best midfielder off the ruckman's hand. He is a genuine inside midfielder and the best on the list. Let's not forget, wasn't that long ago he won a BNF and an All-Australian. Yeah. He should be at 26, 27, 28 and 29 in the 3 or 4 years of the prime of his footy life. So how's it come to this? It's an indictment on somebody. It's an indictment on our list and the coaching. It has to be one of the two. I mean, honestly, how is Matt Crouch not in their best 22 and their best starting inside centre square middies? I'll tell you why. Because you got Laird, Keys, Berry, Haitley and co.
Surplus.
Feel for you, Matty.
As Rowy's saying, it's a calamity not of Matt Crouch's making. This is a bloke whose bona fides are established. And look, people will point to the metres gained and be critical of his football in recent weeks. That's always who he's been, and there's always been a place for Matt Crouch in the AFL, and there would be if the composition of the midfield was slightly different. The problem is the Crows have boxed themselves into a corner by saying, no, Rory Laird's always in there. Ben Keys is always going to be in there. We're glad Sam Berry's finally getting to go in there, but again, he's not a penetrating kick of the football. He's not a run and carry sort of a guy. So Matt Crouch is being squeezed out because they just haven't brought in enough variety or haven't had the wherewithal to go, we're going to try guys with different attributes in here. And he's a victim of those choices.
You calling the game tomorrow?
Yes.
The Crows going to win?
Scott Pendlebury's 350th means I think there's an emotional impetus that Collingwood are going to carry that concerns me deeply. And I called the game earlier in the year where Collingwood really got hold of Adelaide at the MCG. Now Adelaide Oval's a different proposition, but they concern me. That's the sort of team that the Crows can struggle with. So, but they need to bounce back. There's been a couple of really ordinary weeks for Adelaide. And
what about you, Audrey? You're probably more into Paris Saint-Germain than the Adelaide Crows, aren't you?
I don't really understand what you're saying.
That's all right. I didn't mean to throw to you for special comments about AFL, but I thought while you were here,
I tried, but I didn't understand, so it's okay. Let's just listen.
I thought you might have just had some really strong views about the Crows midfield, because everybody else in South Australia does.
More from Stephen Rowe tonight, ahead of the weekend's footy action.
Although France did beat Belgium 2-1 overnight.
Oh, it's nice.
Yeah, so
I didn't check yet. I'm looking sometimes for soccer.
How about the spoiler alert, David? What was if Audrey was going home to watch it later? I had it recorded.
Imagine that.
You've just spoiled it.
I've got it. I've taped it, you idiot.
Book your service online, North Point Toyota, to win the cost back. It is the North Point way. 5AA News coming up. We'll be back shortly.
It's value the Australian way at Coles with great fresh specials this week. Like Coles Kestrel washed potatoes, 100% South Australian grown and just $3.50 for a 2 kilo bag. This week at Coles. Offer ends Thursday.
Where can you get the ultimate? A premium fillet steak, not one but two mouth-watering lamb cutlets, chicken kebabs, prawn skewers, sausage, grilled corn on the cob, chips, salad and chimichurri for only $19.90? Where? Sky City, where else? Feast on the ultimate mixed grill. Mondays and Tuesdays for just $19.90 until July 26, exclusively for Sky City Rewards members. Not a member? Join now. It's free. Sky City, where else? T's and C's apply.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. Our famous July Spend and Save is on now. Yes, our famous July Spend and Save is the best National Tiles event of the year. Spend $1,000 and we'll only charge you $750. Or spend $4,000 and we'll only charge you $2,750. The National Tiles July Spend and Save is not to be missed. But you'll have to be quick. For full details, go to nationaltiles.com.au now and save. Conditions apply.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head online to 5AA Facebook or search 5AA on YouTube. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Partly cloudy and 15 today with the 7:30 news. I'm Mel Usher.
Looking for the perfect winter exercise? Physio Extra offers clinical Pilates at 6 locations. PhysioExtra.com.
Investigations are continuing into a head-on collision at Clements Gap in the state's mid-north. It happened on the Spencer Highway late yesterday. The driver and sole occupant of a Honda, a 38-year-old woman, was taken to the Port Pirie Hospital with serious injuries. The other driver, a 27-year-old woman, was airlifted to the RA with serious injuries as well. And Senior Constable Matt Brown says several kids were also involved.
3 children in the Mitsubishi, a 4-year-old boy, a 3-year-old girl and a 1-year-old boy were also airlifted to the Women's and Children's Hospital for treatment. Major crash officers attended the scene to examine the circumstances of the collision.
3 people have been arrested after Polair tracked a stolen car through the western and northern suburbs early this morning. The black Volkswagen was spiked at Prospect and again at Smithfield Plains before being abandoned in Blakeview. 2 men and a woman have been arrested and charged with a range of offences. The Treasurer and Central Bank Governor are travelling to Indonesia to attend a global gathering of major economies. Lucy Gray reports.
Jim Chalmers and Philip Lowe will spend the next 2 days in Bali at the G20 Finance Ministers and Central Bank Governors meeting. The Treasurer will use the trip to discuss the economic issues affecting our region, such as energy and food security, climate change, tax and pandemic preparedness. The pair have embarked overseas as Australia's economy continues to defy global expectations, with unemployment dropping to a 48-year low, but inflation remains high.
The Nationals are accusing the Prime Minister of demonising nuclear energy. Last month, David Littleproud wrote to Anthony Albanese, urging him to convene an energy summit which would look at a range of issues, including nuclear power. His reply stated nuclear is not currently a viable energy source for our country. Mr Littleproud says he wants the government to have a more open mind.
We want to create the environment where we bring everyone together, politicians, scientists, industry, about having a mature conversation. I think that's what Australians want. They're sick of the yelling and screaming. I'm not giving up. I get on well with Anthony Albanese. I'm going to have another conversation and say, mate, this is an opportunity for us to lead.
Australia will provide 1 million doses of a vaccine for foot and mouth disease to Indonesia. The country is grappling with an outbreak of the highly contagious livestock disease, which poses a serious threat to Australia's export industry. $500,000 has also been committed to Meat and Livestock Australia. Ivana Trump has died at the age of 73. She was married to Donald Trump for 15 years and they had 3 children together, Donald Jr., Ivanka and Eric. She spoke about life after Donald when they divorced in the early 1990s.
I'm young, I'm not ugly, I'm not ill, I have intelligence. There are millions of the men up there which I can have a nice relationship with, I can spend time with, I can have fun with. And if I'm all holding to just the idea of being married to the wrong person, that's a wrong idea.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
10-year warranty and 10-year capped price servicing at Agostino Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Elizabeth.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Mel. Footy first, and Adelaide has dropped 3 players for tomorrow's clash against Collingwood at home. Matt Crouch, James Rowe and Jackson Haitley are all out of the side, while Lockie Murphy, Mitch Hinge and Shane McAdam are back in the team. Bailey Smith returns for the Bulldogs tonight when they take on St Kilda at Marvel Stadium. Meantime, Smith has served his 4-week suspension after the headbutting and illicit drug incidents. On the back of the 2-week suspension for headbutting, Bulldogs coach Luke Beveridge says he's spoken to Smith about letting his football do the talking.
And I'm sure he will, but he's proud and he's combative, but there's a line that you can't cross. So it's not an issue for him in his game. We've seen it before where he'll stand up for himself and his teammates, and it's just the way he's built. Hopefully he regulates his own energies in that regard.
Forward Josh Bruce also returns for the Dogs tonight. Well, British cyclist Thomas Pidcock has landed the biggest win of his career after taking out stage 12 atop the Alpe d'Huez. The 22-year-old describing the moment as something special.
That was certainly one of my best experiences in cycling. That was unreal. Like, when you're literally slaloming through people's flags, fists and God knows what else. It's you cannot experience that anywhere else in anything.
Yeah, great result for him. That audio thanks to Fox. And in some golf to finish, Aussie Cameron Smith is only 3 shots off the pace. That's after the opening round of the Open Championship at St Andrews in Scotland. He fired an impressive 5-under round, while American Cameron Young leads the way in the outright lead at 8-under. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
Empress Homewares, 60 The Parade Norwood, Adelaide's most eclectic furniture decor specialist. One-off pieces on sale now.
At Parafield Gardens, traffic lights playing up on Salisbury Highway near Shepherdson Road. Sturt, you'll find changed traffic conditions this morning. Marion Road at South Road, that's due to works. Speeds reduced, no lines marked at the moment. In the Parklands, Rundle Road is closed between East Terrace and Kettleville Terrace for the Illuminate Festival. And we're busy right now, South Road, as you're driving through Karata Park. Look out for camera 2, Midway Road at Elizabeth East. Order a selected Audi by August 31 and receive complimentary 5-year, 75,000 kilometre scheduled servicing at your preferred Audi dealer. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, partly cloudy for your Friday with a top of 15. Showers increasing tomorrow, 15. Sunday showers continuing, 15. Right now it's 8 degrees. More news as it happens on 5AA.
For the best deal, best service and best experience, you've always gone to Agostino Mitsubishi. Well, here's another incredible reason to visit the team at Nailsworth and Elizabeth, and it's an Australian first. Get 10-year warranty and 10-year cap price servicing on the entire Mitsubishi range. You heard right, that's an incredible 10-year warranty and 10-year cap price servicing on the entire Mitsubishi range. Check it out at Agostino Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Elizabeth. Exclusions and conditions including Mitsubishi servicing apply.
Feeling the burn? Save cash with Cheapest Chips Hot Buys. Nescafe Gold Coffee 190 grams, only $9.99. Lynx and Rexona deodorants 100 to 150 grams, any 2 for $7. Finish Powerball 110 packs, regular or lemon, only $16.99. And Men's Assorted Violet Crumble and Crown Mince Confectionery, any 2 for just $6. Check out this week's catalogue for more Hot Buys in-store and online. Save cash and live cheaper with Cheapest Chips Hot Buys now.
Good pals are hard to find, but at Parafield Airport Liquor Store, hard to find is our specialty. Whether you're after old reliable pals or want some new pals, Sam, Jamie and the team know just the pals for you. They've made pals with over 200 gins, over 300 craft beers, over 500 whiskies from around the world, and over 2,000 wines. Parafield Airport Liquor Store, Pals, open till late 7 days, next to Roulette's Tavern, Kings Road, Parafield.
Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Statewide Super is now Host Plus, an industry super fund for all Australians. That's a plus.
22 minutes to 8. John Blake coming up before 8 o'clock this morning. We're going to meat tray to give away a little bit later. I think you're eating the contents of a smaller version of the meat tray that we were provided with by the magnificent butcher, Audrey, who we just spoke to from Ledoux Cox a moment ago. Just take us through what you've got there in front of you.
That is the chicken terrine in croûte, which means in pastry. Beautiful thing with one of their lovely homemade croissants. And big shout out too to Tony O'Connell from O'Connell's Meats. He just brought down these massive breakfast Savoy sandwiches, like a hot dog with some cheese in it and sauce. Apparently when Rowie was down here, Tony said that he ate 6 of them. 6.
Sounds like a challenge.
That's right.
Is that like the Boonie equivalent of the Adelaide Central Markets, is it?
They did that last week in Coney Island. They do it every year, the hot dog eating championships. It's recognised as a major sporting event, the World Hot Dog Eating Championships.
What's his name? Jimmy Chestnut?
Yeah.
Is it?
He eats like 150 of them. Have you ever seen him do it? It's the most disgusting thing you've ever seen.
No, it's a feat of endurance. There's no doubt about that. 21 minutes to 8. Don't attempt it while we're on the air if you're going to have a crack. Try it a little bit later if you wouldn't mind. From France to Italy, it's time to chat with the Orazio Fantasia. Thanks to Rainwise Pools, family-owned building pools in SA for over 15 years. Google Rainwise Pools Adelaide.
Orazio Fantasia, intercepted almost by Orazio Fantasia. Orazio Fantasia, Orazio Fantasia, Orazio Fantasia, Orazio. Ho, 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 it's magic.
Missed talking footy with Orazio over the last couple of weeks. Good to have you back on deck, mate. Good morning to you.
Good morning, thanks. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed your holidays. I'm not sure about eating a hot dog at 7:40 in the morning, though.
No. David would reply, but he's got a mouthful of hot dog right now.
Can't talk, Orazio, eating.
Must be good.
No, mate, we missed you for the last fortnight. How have you been getting along?
Yeah, it's been going really well. Training's going really, really well, so I'm back with the main group, which is nice. I'm not going to play this week again. I spoke to Ken and the high-performance team, and he said it was best if I just do another week of training, which will be 2 full weeks of training, and then I'm available at either level, so I could play against Geelong or I could play Sample, just depending on how we go, I guess.
So you didn't play in that unfortunate Port Eagles game in the Sandful the other weekend, did you, mate?
No, I didn't. I did go down and watch, and it's been a couple of tough weeks for the Sample, unfortunately.
Orazio, can I ask you, that schedule to return to play that you talk about, is that impacted at all by the increasing likelihood that Port might play finals, or at least that being a live possibility right now where you weren't necessarily anticipating it would be at this point a month ago?
Oh, absolutely. I think if I was to go out and play a little bit underdone and get hurt again, more than likely my season would be shut down, and it's just too risky to do that at this stage.
Does it play on your mind, mate? Because I guess the thing is the way you came out, when you made your first Sandful comeback, which was the game up in the Riverland, the Russell Ebert game, the fact that you sort of went ping so early, is that what's sort of making everybody so cautious this time round?
Of course, when you have reoccurring injuries like this, it's always a concern, and you want to just be as cautious as you can, and you want to get the work in. And it comes down, and I say it a lot, just on no pre-season. Like, I didn't start running really till I think it was late February, even later, maybe May. March, sorry. So you miss all of that work, and you know when you're fit enough to play.
No, we chat with a lot of footballers and people, and some are engaged in the sport outside of their team. Some aren't. You're in the former category. I know you're a football nut. Have you got to the stage yet in the season that you're playing with the ladder predictor on the AFL website?
Oh, I play with that all the time. I look and see who's playing, and it's Doggies and St Kilda, so this is going to be a good game. Hopefully, can we get a draw? That'd be nice, and we can get a win and jump them both. You pray for everything,
You're too good, because my next question then was going to be about tonight's game, because it does have implications, obviously, for you guys trying to make the 8. But you're 4 points in, just percentage out now. What's the equation for you? Do you think you need to win out? Can you afford to drop one? What's your understanding?
Well, I mean, on my predictor and the way I'd love to see it happen, I'd love us just to win everything. The last 6 would be really nice, and that probably takes luck out of the equation. we're that you know, then we're not praying for other teams to lose. I guess that sort of makes sense.
Yep. But the way you've been playing though, like and you've been playing against some decent sides too. None more so than the Sydney game. Like there's been recent examples like the Western Bulldogs, or indeed the year when the Crows managed to sneak into the elimination final and win a couple, where it's not inconceivable anymore, despite your very slow start to the year.
Oh, definitely not. And you talk about that Sydney game, and our pressure was outstanding, and we end up beating Sydney by close to 40 points, and then Sydney play Essendon the week later and lose, and then they beat the Bulldogs the following week by 50 points. So the competition is that even. I know we spoke about it probably a month ago, where there's 14 teams realistically that are, can beat anyone on any given day.
Do you get the sense, Orazio, and a few close port watchers I've spoken to have made this observation, that it feels like in games at the moment, you guys are capable of playing, say, 30 minutes of the sort of football that saw you a perennial prelim final contender, a really good quality contending side. But it seems at this point you've built up to that, but you haven't quite a full 2 hour, a full performance at that level to this point. Is that fair? And how far away do you think you guys are from your absolute best?
Yeah, I think it's fair, and we did speak about it during the week again. Like our first quarter against the Giants on the weekend wasn't quite how we wanted to start, but our last 3 quarters, we held them to 29 points, and our clearance work was really good, and they've been I think they were ranked 2 in scores for the last month. So like they're scoring really well, and we defended them really well. So it's sort of like 3 quarters of good football, and we're just trying to chase that, and it's probably a mindset thing as well. Just going into a game, just being on from the get-go and just trying to hold that for as long as we can.
Any chance you can get on the plane? It's a bit warmer in Alice Springs than I think it is here in Adelaide today.
It is freezing, and I'm about to tick off a running session. That's why we're here a bit early, so I might have to put the gloves on this morning.
Oh, no. Oh, that's nasty. Well, we'll let you get to it. Warm up fast. Run the first one hard.
Yeah, go hard, mate.
Yeah, I will.
Have a good one, Orazio. See you, mate. Rainwise Pools, family-owned building pools in SA for over 15 years. Google Rainwise Pools Adelaide. It's coming up to 14 minutes to 8. So before we get to some more of your Meat Tray Friday entries and check on the Automasters text line, we might check traffic. There's still time. Join Samry's Bright Walk for a brighter future at samrybright.org.au.
Thanks, Will. At Parafield Gardens, traffic lights playing up on Salisbury Highway near Shepparton Road. Sturt change traffic conditions, Marion Road at South Road. That's due to work, speeds reduced, no lines marked, so take care there. In the Parklands, Rundle Road is still closed between East Terrace and Kettleville Terrace for the Illuminate Festival, and getting busy South Road as you're driving through Mile End. Statewide Super is now Host Plus, an industry super fund for all Australians run only to benefit its members. That's a plus. Search Compare Host Plus today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Great news for people on the move. Budget Car and Truck Rental have a new location just north of the city at 354 North East Road, Clemzig. Open 7 days a week. So, if you're moving out or in, taking a load to the tip or going on a big trip, you can do it all with Budget Car and Truck Rental. 7 metro locations, including their new site at Clemzig. Call 13 27 27. That's 13 27 27.
G'day, it's Eddie from NRG Solar here. In case you haven't heard, the SA Home Battery Scheme has been flushed down the dunny in favour of, well, nothing. Before it's gone altogether, get in touch with us and get $2,000 off the price of your Tesla Powerwall. Combined with NRG Solar, battery storage could zero out your electricity bills altogether. And in all seriousness, the time to act is now. Right now, actually. Visit nrgsolar.com.au. NRG Solar, leading solar in SA.
The last thing you probably have on your mind right now is diving into a pool, but believe me, you'll be kicking yourself when summer comes around and the family's standing under a sprinkler where a pool should be.
Absolutely. I mean, the farthest thing away from your mind today, but a few months from now you'll be standing there going, geez, we should have rung Rainwise. Should have done what I did. Did it last year. It was one of the best decisions my family's ever made. Get in touch with the excellent people at Rainwise Pools now, because that way, at the first hint of warm weather, family and friends can enjoy every second of summer poolside.
Rainwise is a family company with real family values, and they've been consistently winning awards for their workmanship, service and price.
And they've just won another one. In fact, I can tell you that Harrison Hawkins from Rainwise, he just took out gold for the SPASA 2022 Construction Tradesperson Award for Excellence. Rainwise Pools also took out the Gold Award for Excellence in fiberglass pools up to $60,000. So big congratulations to everybody who was involved.
So here's the message. Don't wait. Make sure you're set for summer. Visit rainwisepoolsadelaide.com.au. That's rainwisepoolsadelaide.com.au.
20 years ago, Toyota set the standard for hybrid vehicles with the iconic Prius. Today, they're still leading the way with their Toyota hybrid technology for a cleaner, greener future for all Australians. Jarvis Toyota is Adelaide's home of hybrid. They can get you behind the wheel of your own small, medium or large sedan or SUV with best-in-class fuel economy. Work towards a better future together with Jarvis Toyota. South Road, Clovelly Park, Adelaide's home of hybrid.
The Adelaide Central Market is open and it's not going anywhere. You might notice some changes as the exciting new market expansion gets underway. But don't worry, your favourite traders, your weekly fruit and veg, your fresh seafood and morning coffees aren't going anywhere. It might be expanding, but the market you know and love is open throughout all stages of construction with easy undercover parking. Shop at the Adelaide Central Market, trading as always Tuesday to Saturday.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head online to 5AA Facebook or search 5AA on YouTube. Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Statewide Super is now Host Plus, an industry super fund for all Australians. That's a plus.
11 minutes to 8. Beautiful morning here, Adelaide Central Market. Still space at a table or a chair if you want to come and join us down between Zuma Cafe and the Atlas Continental Cafe. There's food, there's coffee. It's all happening down here. Just magnificent.
We've got plenty of food in front of us.
Yes, in front of you, should I say.
Well, there was.
There's less than there was before that ad break, that's for sure. Andrew in St Clair's called in. Morning to you, Andrew.
Good morning, guys. You were talking before about Joey Chestnut and the hot dog eating contest that is regularly held in the US. He was up on the weekend. I don't know if you saw the vision, but he's on stage with a row of people sort of wolfing down these hot dogs. And they had a protester on the stage. I don't know what they were protesting about. I haven't seen the vision again. But the protester found themselves standing next to Joey, I think it was. And he finished the hot dog he was on, literally stopped, put the guy in a headlock, probably got a 1 to 2 game suspension courtesy of the AFL, and then let him go and instantly resumed his hot dog as security came up and obviously took care of the person concerned.
And he still went on to win.
And he still went on to win, yeah.
The bloke's like he didn't get bitten.
No, exactly. Like, you know, I just mistake the bloke for a hot dog somewhere along the line. You know, easily, it's footage you can't buy.
That is.
I'll check that out.
That is.
I missed that one.
That's like the legendary Ron Clark moment, but hot dogs and protesters. The protesters were protesting animal rights.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think it's a bit...
What animal was it that they're trying to protect when it comes to a Coney Island hot dog?
I reckon the horses bolted at the point in time they're a hot dog. You know? I think you've got to try and intervene a little bit sooner for the sake of the animals. Susanna and Mylors called in to talk about animals, specifically those that used to hang out here at the market. Morning, Susanna.
Good morning. When I was a child, my mum, we walked to the market because we lived nearby. We went there every week and during school holidays most days. And there was the old man who had up to 12 Pekingese dogs. And I used to sit next to him and chat to him. And basically, he told me that he used to work at one of the kill shelters, whether it was RSPCA or Animal Welfare League, whatnot. And he'd volunteer there, and every time a Pekingese came up to death row, he would take it home with him. So he managed to... Yeah. And he
so they were dogs that were destined to be put down, and he saved them all?
Yes. Oh. He had a particular affinity for that breed of dog, which I haven't seen a Pekingese in years. So I'm guessing maybe there was a movie or some sort of fad. Every time there's a fad or a movie about a particular breed of dog, those dogs suddenly become popular and then they end up in shelters.
Yeah, good on you, Susanna. Thank you for that. We had a few texts too to that effect on the Automasters text line about the dogs were Pekingese, so we appreciate everyone who texted in this morning. I think we can transition seamlessly from acknowledging an animal rights protest back to Meat Tray Friday. Pauline in Marden has called in with something that she couldn't live without. Morning to you, Pauline.
Good morning, boys. Couldn't live without my family. They keep me going.
That's lovely, Pauline.
Yeah.
They keep me going. The kids are
Neither
very
could
noisy.
we, Pauline.
Sorry?
Neither could we. Their family is everything, isn't it?
I don't even know Pauline's family.
Well, they're very noisy.
The noise is good though. It's a good type of noise, family noise, isn't it?
No, you reckon?
we don't want to talk you out of it, Pauline. We'll take it as
changing
it's
your mind.
It's a lovely entry. Thank you, Pauline.
That's a great entry, Pauline.
Louis, good morning.
Good morning. First, I want to tell you that years ago, my brother gave me a rooster for Christmas, and he was in my back garden. And he flew over the neighbour's fence, and he put him in a box, and he was in one bedroom, and my dog was in the other one with me. And now I've got a cat from the FIVEaa, but I couldn't live without my Bible because I was brought up in the Catholic Church, but I'm born again, and I don't believe that Jesus is on any cross. He's risen from the dead, and what the church tells you at all is totally wrong, because it says in the Bible, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, not Mary or anyone else.
Good stuff, Louis. Thank you, mate.
On you, mate.
Meat Tray Friday entry and a non-secondary.
Few points there for the theologically minded.
Tyson in Clarence Gardens, good morning.
G'day, boys. My beef jerky. I can't live without it. On Fridays, I always get it from the South African butcher behind the Rex Hotel.
Beef jerky is good stuff.
The biltong, is that the biltong, mate?
Correct.
That is quality gear.
Tyson, thank you. And that's why I love this program. We can have an earnest, my family is what I can't live without. The Bible is not what I can't live without. Beef jerky is what I can't live without.
Jesus lives among us, and I want the beef jerky. Had a bit of everything, didn't it?
We have the full gamut of South Australians listening in to the program, which is magnificent. There's space for everyone on FIVEaa Breakfast. Let's
Adelaide's most eclectic breakfast show.
That's what we...
Bit of everything.
Yeah, exactly right. All right, let's... Time for John Blake, thanks to Aussie Fast Transport Solutions, Interstate Freight Distribution, Warehousing and Local Adelaide Couriers. Call Aussie Fast, 13 13 64.
And now, Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese with another tip for real happiness.
If you want to be happy for the rest of your life, Anthony Albanese has some advice. After he's whispered in your ear, you'll be wondering if he was a good idea.
This is Prime Minister Anthony Albanese with another tip for real happiness. If you want to be really happy, become Prime Minister and immediately you get into office, deliver on your promises. That makes me happy. I promised real wage rises. Well, I've done that with very generous pay rises for federal members of Parliament, and some say that's not fair, but you've got to start somewhere. I can't run the country on an empty stomach. I understand why people are saying Peter Dutton doesn't deserve a pay rise. He's in opposition, so he's being paid for not doing anything. Well, I say to those people, the leader of the Greens, Adam Bant, doesn't do anything. He still gets a pay rise. In fact, most of the Greens don't get paid that much. They run on the smell of an oily rag. Of course, if they get their way, they'll be running on the smell of some sort of wind-powered rag. Not very reliable. Anyway, I hope everyone else is excited as we are at the wage rises we've received. I might go out and buy another investment house. Jeez, I'm glad we didn't get rid of negative gearing. Some people are saying we should have refused the pay rise like Scott Morrison did for 2 years. Well, that's why he's not Prime Minister anymore. He's an idiot.
If you want to be happy for the rest of your life, Anthony Albanese had some advice. Now that he's happy and has had a laugh, he should be better off and hopefully he won't starve.
More from John Blake coming up after 8:30 this morning. We go behind closed doors. Len Somerville, the name of the guy that had the dogs at the Central Market, used to be a regular caller. Bob Francis, excellent text in from Kay. He used to call in and read poetry. Now, as Kay, you say it, the name, I remember that. I didn't realise they were one and the same, those people, though.
You know, Bob, he was a cult figure here at the market.
Always here.
I was at Con's Fine Foods yesterday afternoon buying some salami and some cheese and talking to Ross. Hope you're listening, Ross. He told me he's a keen listener to the program. Thanks for looking after me yesterday with the prosciutto and all the rest of it. But he was saying that Bob used to shop there. He used to shop at McMahon's as well. But he'd come in on a Friday. And the thing with Bob Francis was regardless of whether people were responding to him or not, he would arrive at the market, even later in life when he was on the Gopher, and he'd come in and be going, hello. It's like, I'm here. But people loved it. But even people who had no idea who he was would just see this figure arriving as if he was on the red carpet at the Academy Awards, and he was at the Adelaide Central Market.
5AA News is coming up. We're going to take a short break. Breaking at 8 next.
The mid-year event is on at Solitaire Maserati. With the Levante SUV available for immediate delivery, now is the time to own one of the world's most desired luxury performance brands. Book a test drive at solitairemaserati.com.au. DL 65541.
Celebrate bush foods, sustainable farming and living at the Kwandong Festival. Free cooking demos, gardening workshops and live music. Head north to Quorn in the Flinders Ranges and enjoy the Kwandong Festival, August 5 to 7.
G'day, it's Mark Bickley. When you buy a Leader computer, you're buying a computer made right here in Adelaide. You're dealing with people that live in Adelaide, and when it comes to servicing or support, it all happens here in Adelaide. Not overseas, not interstate. Unlike some others, Leader don't have to send anything off for repair. They take care of everything right here. It makes sense to live life local. Live life Leader. Leader Computers. Find your local dealer at leadersystems.com.au.
Hi, I'm Izzy and my family runs St. Louis Home Care, which was started by my great-grandma 76 years ago. We'd like you to meet Jen, our physiotherapist. She's supported the health and wellbeing of our clients for 18 years.
I love being part of a team because it's a family business. I think we're really caring and we all know each other really well. And our goal is just to keep our clients living at home where they want to be.
Yes, Jen, independence is so important. Google St. Louis Home Care to find out how my family can help take care of yours.
9 News has the experience to break the news. Made in Adelaide for Adelaide. 9 News.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Partly cloudy, 15 today with the 8 o'clock news. I'm Mel Usher.
FIVEaa Extra is a registered NDIS provider, so let them support you in achieving your goals. PhysioExtra.com.
5 people, including 3 children, have been seriously injured in a crash at Clements Gap in the state's mid-north. Kendall Brettig reports.
A Honda sedan and a Mitsubishi SUV collided head-on on the Spencer Highway yesterday afternoon. The driver and sole occupant of the Honda, a 38-year-old woman from Port Pirie, was taken to the local hospital with serious injuries. The Mitsubishi driver, a 27-year-old woman from Kadina, was airlifted to the Royal Adelaide Hospital with serious injuries. 3 children in the Mitsubishi, a 4-year-old boy, 3-year-old girl and a 1-year-old boy were airlifted to the Women's and Children's. Major crash officers attended the scene to investigate how the accident happened. The Spencer Highway was closed for several hours but has since reopened.
The Prime Minister will meet with state leaders on Monday in a snap national cabinet. Infectious diseases expert Professor Robert Boy says COVID continues to be a problem. It continues to mutate, posing a challenge for health authorities.
It's changed so much. We don't really have a precedent with a previous virus that behaved in a way we say, oh yes, it's like that. It has some comparisons with other viruses, but other things are completely new and challenging and unpredictable.
Ivana Trump, the first wife of former US President Donald Trump, has died in New York. Correspondent Alison Petrowski has more.
The 73-year-old former model and businesswoman died of a heart attack in her home in uptown Manhattan. Ivana Trump's family confirming her death in a statement. Ivana Trump was a survivor. She fled from communism and embraced this country. She taught her children about grit and toughness, compassion and determination. Donald Trump calling his ex-wife wonderful, beautiful and amazing. Ivana Trump grew up under communist rule in the former Czechoslovakia and moved to the United States in the 1970s, where she met and married then real estate tycoon Donald Trump in 1977. She's survived by her 3 children, Donald Jr., Ivanka and Eric, and her 10 grandchildren.
Joe Biden is meeting with leaders in Saudi Arabia after wrapping up his visit to Israel. The US president is on a tour of the Middle East, vowing to promote American interests in the region. He says there are so many issues at stake.
I'll be carrying a direct message of peace and extraordinary opportunities that a more stable and integrated region could bring to the region and, quite frankly, the whole world.
The Adelaide Guitar Festival starts tonight. It will run until July 24, featuring a range of performances and events. Artistic Director Slava Grigorian says there's something for everyone.
The guitar is so unique. We've got everything from heavy metal, electric shredding guitar to jazz and blues, and some extraordinary singer-songwriters who use the guitar as an accompanying instrument too, classical and flamenco and other styles of music as well.
And Prince Andrew's infamous interview when he sought to clear himself of links to Jeffrey Epstein is being made into a movie. Hugh Grant's name has been mentioned as a possible Duke of York in the film. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
New Mitsubishi Triton with 10-year warranty, 10-year capped price servicing at Agostino Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Elizabeth.
And with everything footy, here's Tom Wren.
Yes, thank you, Mel. Let's begin there. Port Adelaide forward Orazio Fantasia says he's getting close to a return as he tries to keep his hopes alive of returning this season. Fantasia telling David and Will he is a chance to come back next weekend.
I'm not going to play this week again. Spoke to Ken and the high performance team, and he said it was best if I just do another week of training, which will be 2 full weeks of training, and then I'm available at either level, so I could play against Geelong or I could play Sample, just depending on how we go, I guess.
Yeah, let's hope so. The Power have named a squad of 26 to play against Melbourne on Sunday. That will be trimmed later today, while the Crows will have a light run ahead of their match against Collingwood tomorrow. Matt Crouch, James Rowe and Jackson Haitley have all been left out of the team. There's 4 Australians within 6 shots of the lead after the first round of the Open Championship at St Andrews. Cameron Smith is in outright third at 5 under. Smith is 3 shots behind American leader Cameron Young. Brad Kennedy's at 4 under, Minwoo Lee 3 under, and Lucas Herbert is at 2 under. But it was a horror day for 15-time major champion Tiger Woods, who finished at 6 over. Well, a hot and sweaty stage 12 in the Tour de France has seen 22-year-old Tom Pidcock become the race's youngest ever stage winner. Jonas Vingegaard retains the overall yellow jersey. Chelsea has ended their interest in signing Manchester United forward Cristiano Ronaldo. The 37-year-old will not take part in United's exhibition match in Melbourne, but the club insists he's not for sale. 2 games in the NRL tonight with the North Queensland Cowboys hosting the Cronulla Sharks, while in the late game it will be the Parramatta Eels taking on New Zealand. And 3 Aussies have made the men's quarterfinals at surfing's J-Bay Open in South Africa. Tyler Wright and Stephanie Gilmore will go head-to-head in an all-Aussie women's semi-final. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
Empress Homewares, 60 The Parade Norwood, Adelaide's most eclectic furniture decor specialist. One-off pieces on sale now.
At Evanston South, smash on Main North Road near Smith Road. That's as you're heading inbound. Powerfield Gardens, traffic lights playing up on Salisbury Highway near Shepherdson Road. Sturt, changed traffic conditions, Maureen Road at South Road. That's due to work. Speeds reduced, no lines marked there, so do take care. And we're getting busy South Road as you're driving through Edwardstown. Cameras, Old South Road, Old Granella and Washington Drive at Craigmore. Australian avocados are great value right now. They're everywhere. To celebrate, they're officially, unofficially sponsoring July. So hurry, get to local shops and grab a few today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast, partly cloudy 15 today, showers increasing tomorrow 15, Sunday 15 again with showers continuing, and then Monday partly cloudy 13. Right now it's 8 degrees. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Statewide Super is now Host Plus, an industry super fund for all Australians. That's a plus.
6 minutes after 8, we're down at the Central Market. I was sharing the desk with David Penberthy for the first 2 and a bit hours of the program. It's just me now and the remnants of everything David began eating. That's because he's off roaming around the Central Markets. We're going to catch up with him. You might hear him in the background there in just a moment. Also, we're going to be speaking with Shane Lay from Kangaroo Island, who's turned tragedy into triumph in a really remarkable way. Shane is someone we spoke to many times as we were travelling to Kangaroo Island, who we first met when his home had burnt down. He was living in a friend's caravan. He's from that started this garlic business that's gone gangbusters, and he's now got a really wonderful story to tell, so we're going to hear it from him after 8:30. And the appropriate backdrop to be talking food, garlic and these sorts of things at the Adelaide Central Market. David is somewhere roaming around at the moment. I assume either that or he's knocked off for the day. You still there, David?
I'm still here, mate. I'm moving around. I'm heading down towards Lee Cheers. I'm going to try to catch up with Maria, who market regulars would know is one of the many friendly faces serving the excellent coffee and all of the wonderful toasted sandwiches and minestrone at Lee Cheers.
Well, I know you haven't allowed your roving David to interrupt your usual duty, so let's go breaking at 8.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, today's Breaking at 8 relates to a story that we first broke yesterday about the fact that John Setka, the notorious leader of the Victorian branch of the construction union, the CFMEU, has now effectively taken control of the South Australian branch. He is now serving as the State Secretary of the Union here in South Australia. Well, there's an interesting and intriguing development with it insofar as John Setka and 2 of his associates were seen down at State Parliament on July the 4th. They were there in the afternoon holding some kind of meeting in the garden room at State Parliament. Now, on the face of it, people might say, well, you know, it's a free country and any citizen, provided they've got someone to sort of sponsor them to make a visit into State Parliament, has the right to do that. But the state opposition is saying, well, hang on a minute, if this bloke's meant to be persona non grata within the Labor Party, and clearly Anthony Albanese went to war with him a few years ago after his comments about the domestic violence campaign of Rosie Batty emerged, they're saying that it's incumbent on the state government, the state Labor Party, to explain whether any MP or any Labor staffer was involved in letting the bloke into the building. It does seem pretty weird, given the extent to which Labor has gone to distance itself from John Setka, that they may potentially have played some sort of role in enabling him to get into the Parliament. And then the other question is, what was he there for? Who was he meeting? What's it all about? Clearly you'd think it was related to the lead-up to this effective takeover of the state branch. So some questions there for the government to answer today.
That's a big story.
It is. It's intriguing. Also, one other little follow-up. Yesterday we had Greg Jenkins on the show. Greg, the daughter of Anna Jenkins, who lost her life under mysterious circumstances in Malaysia back in 2019. We've spoken to Frank Pangallo's office this morning and we've confirmed that Greg is leaving today for Malaysia, so he is going to be there for the resumption of the coronial inquest into his mother's death on Monday. And Frank Pangallo is also going to be going up. He's flying out tomorrow and he's seeking a meeting with the police chief and also Penang's chief minister while he is in Georgetown. So there's a bonus breaking at 8. Addendum for you, Will.
Breaking's at 8 on this Friday morning. It is, of course, Meat Tray Friday as well, thanks to Lida Cox. Lucy texted me a short time ago saying, stop saying do. It's duh. Lida Cox. Come and see them this weekend at the Adelaide Central Market. 8223 is the number. Asking you what you couldn't live without. We're getting some earnest answers, some very honest ones, and a lot of them are just about people's sort of little picadillos and favourite foods and whatnot. They're all correct answers. Every single one of them, they're running to win the meat tray today on 8223 Now, you're out of sight and but not out of mind, David. Where do we find you in the market right now?
I'm currently outside Lucia's. I'm just waiting for Connie to pop out and say g'day. They're doing a roaring trade here, Will, as they always are. There's dozens and dozens of people outside here on the little alfresco terrace area and dozens more inside. Everybody's tucking into their coffees and their minestrones. There's a lady here. I might go over and interrupt her if she doesn't mind. Hello, madam. How are you? I'm Dave. What's your name? Mary. Mary. How are you, Mary? So are you? My mum comes here every Thursday. She has a standing booking at 11 a.m. She comes here with my dad. They meet all of their friends. Is this a regular tradition for you?
Friday morning with my husband. So we do our shopping first at our regular meats and then green groceries, and then we come and have breakfast at Lucia's. So.
And how long has this tradition been going on for?
30 years.
I might have served you in the 90s when I was working at McMahon's Fruit and Veg.
You probably did, yes.
And what is it about the market that appeals to you so much?
It's just got a great vibe. Fresh produce, of course. And we have friends here now that with the stalls. My husband's an architect. He's redesigned some of the stalls. So and we socialise with Tony O'Connell and Aubergine. So so they've become friends now. So.
It's true. It really is a nice little community, and I can remember when I worked at the fruit shop, I used to love when we had our lunch breaks and our dinner breaks, you got to know all the stallholders. So I'd walk down to one of the bakeries, grab a bread roll from someone, get a few slices of salami from someone else, and it's just a really fun place to be. Have you found too, like with COVID, a lot of people have sort of pulled back on going out, but you come in here and it's still it's got effectively sort of a bit of an outdoors vibe. It feels like a safe place to come, doesn't it?
Yes, well here I'm sitting outside and I'm thinking I should go inside, it's cold, but no, well when, last year and the year before when COVID was really, it is again now, but people were really taking precautions and staying away. The people here did drop off, but we kept coming, so we wear our masks, so other than when I'm eating and drinking. And
Well, look, I shouldn't hold you up anymore, Mary, because you've got a very delicious looking bacon and egg sandwich and a lovely flat white there, so I'll let you finish it off. Lovely chatting to you. Thanks a lot. Cheers, Mary.
Well, that was smooth as silk, David. Look at you, just stepping into the conversation, microphone in hand.
I feel bad. Mary was literally finishing her coffee then. I didn't want to prevent her from polishing it off. I think Maria's tied up in the kitchen, but I've got to say there's so many businesses here that started off in the 1960s and 70s, and many of them were the results of the great waves of migration that have made South Australia such a great place to live. Obviously, Lucia's named after Maria's mum, but it's now become like a hugely successful business in its own right. And, it doesn't matter if you're in Elizabeth or Nollunga, you go into a food land and there's all the Lucia's pasta sauces and all of the passata sitting there on the supermarket shelves. So a lot of sort of medium-sized South Australian businesses have grown up out of what started off as little sort of, mom and pop corner stores and traditional sort of, cafes like this one. So it's great to see how big some of these once small businesses have become.
I was meaning to ask you, from where I'm sitting, and I can just see the front sort of little alfresco style area where people are sitting at Lucia's, and you've got a lot of experience in the markets, David, but a lot gets made of the degree to which people have come back to public spaces or not. And look, I reckon there's probably about maybe a 10% mask wearing sort of rate here at the moment. It looks like Lucia's is absolutely packed. For a standard sort of a Friday at 8:15, in your experience, where would you say the market's at in terms of occupancy?
Oh, I reckon it's probably down a little bit on what it was, but that's probably a good signal for people who are sort of umming and ahhing about coming in. Like, there's still plenty of room. It's not like people are jammed in here cheek by jowl. And certainly, one of the great things about being here in South Australia, and I told that story on air the other day about our quite ludicrous experience at the Sydney Aquarium the other day, where there were tens of thousands of people jammed in there and no one was wearing a mask. It is safe in here. There's a lot more mobility. There's a lot of fresh air. So people have really got nothing to worry about. I do have Maria with me here now from Lucia's. Maria, great to see you. I was just talking about how you guys have gone from being the little coffee shop in the market to becoming, quite a significant food business in your own right, with products on all of the shelves and the food lands and what have you. The growth of Lucia's has been quite remarkable.
Well, it's so wonderful because it's the next generation that has actually taken it to that, to that moment, because my sister and I still run the cafe, but the children have actually taken it to another level, and it's so nice. It's nice for us to actually see it happening too. Yeah.
Can you tell me the story about the label, the beautifully drawn label on all of your pasta sauces? That's like a digital recreation of the original cafe frontage that your parents had, is it not?
Absolutely. It was done in the 60s, so it's actually quite a well-known label because sign writers don't use that type of work anymore to do their windows because it's all digitally done. So some students actually come to have a look at the actual sign writing because it's so particular of the way it's done, and it's so lovely to still have it here, from the original. Yeah.
Now, I know you're too modest and humble to drop names, but one thing, because we talk to a lot of politicians on the show, ex-premiers, premiers and so on. The great thing about Lucia's is when you walk through the market and you walk past the seats outside, it really is a great sort of cross-section of South Australia, and it really is everybody from premiers down who likes getting in here, isn't it?
Well, that's so lovely for us because we've actually seen so many generations of people too come here, like yourself, coming here with your parents, and now, you're here. It's just so good. And the cross-section of people that come to the market, that's what makes it so interesting. Yeah. There's a cosmopolitan feel about it, so it's actually good for everyone. Yeah. It's wonderful that, everyone feels comfortable here. It's like coming home.
Yeah, it is like home. It's got a real family sort of a vibe. Look, it's lovely to see you, Maria, and congratulations on, the fact that...
It's our 65th year this month, so that's what we're celebrating this month.
Well, happy 65th. Buon cumpleaños. Lovely to see you. Thanks, Maria. Cheers. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah, no. What, are they some of your pasta sauces?
All right. We might leave. We might leave.
Contra time.
We might leave Dave to haggle over the spoils of interview and check traffic in the meantime. There's still time to join Samari's Bright Walk for a brighter future at samaribright.org.au.
Thanks, Will. At Evanston South, there's a smash on Main North Road near Smith Road heading inbound. At Sturt, changed traffic conditions there this morning. Marion Road at South Road due to work. Speeds are reduced. No lines marked there, so take care. Aldinga, various works happening on Main South Road near Little Road. That's slowing up the drive-in today, and we're quite busy at the moment. South Road at Mile End. Cameras, Adams Road, Craigmore, and Fletcher Road at Elizabeth East. Shop using the Coles app for an easy and convenient experience. You can even use it to find products when you're shopping at your local store. Download the Coles app today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowie Sports Show.
Crows take on Collingwood. I think 7 games they've won, close ones, by less than 2 goals.
Oh, they've been a great team.
I love what Craig McRae's doing. I love what the coaching group's doing. For all those, and Robbo's one of them, that is saying that Brodie Grundy would even contemplate leaving a 7-year contract at $7 million. Well, honestly.
4 p.m. weekdays.
It's crazy. He's an All-Australian ruckman.
Yep.
He's going to be in the prime of his years for the next 5. He ain't going anywhere.
Rowie Sports Show on 5AA.
Patience pays off, especially if you've been holding out for a great deal on a new Volkswagen. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen is now receiving truckloads of new Volkswagens. Yes, they're coming. And they're available at amazing prices. Remember Mawson Lakes Volkswagen for servicing too, with next day servicing and free loan cars. Get a great deal on Volkswagen now. Don't dilly-dally, dawdle or delay. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, just a short drive from the city.
Connect Hearing is the largest Australian provider of Lyric, the completely invisible hearing solution with fit and forget convenience that stays in your ear 24/7. Book your free 30-day Lyric trial now on 1300 520 804. T's and C's apply.
The Adelaide Central Market is open and it's not going anywhere.
Certainly isn't. Now, you might notice some changes in the market precinct as the exciting new expansion gets underway. But look, don't worry. Your favourite trade is your weekly fruit and veg. I just spoke to Maria there at Lucia's. Your fresh seafood, morning coffees, none of that is going anywhere.
For over 150 years, there's been nothing else like our market. From early morning till late at night, the market's a collective of people coming together to create the cultural heart of Adelaide the way we know best, through incredible food.
Now, the market is home to more than 70 passionate traders, familiar faces, making sure that our market overflows with the best and freshest produce and specialty goods every single market day.
It might be growing, but the market you know and love is open throughout all stages of construction with plenty of easy undercover parking. Pay the market a visit. Trading is always Tuesday to Saturday.
There's one family in SA that's been poolside longer than any other, the Rainwise Pool family. And believe it or not, they're just as busy installing award-winning pools in the cooler months as they are in the summer. So if you don't want to be stuck standing under a sprinkler where your pool should be this summer, you really need to book your Rainwise Pool install now. There's still spaces available. And remember, Rainwise Pools take care of everything. Visit rainwise.com.au.
9 News has the experience to break the news. Made in Adelaide, for Adelaide. 9 News.
Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Statewide Super is now Host Plus, an industry super fund for all Australians. That's a plus.
23 minutes after 8, the 5AA breakfast audience has had a big victory, whether you know it or not. And it started on the weekend when they were in a game with very few highlights for Crows fans. This moment happened in the Crows-Hawthorn game.
Turnover here. They go down, they go. Terrific mark, Tommy Duday. That's the game real estate mark of the day. Mark that one down, Bix. Duday.
Now, not a massive response from the 5AA commentary
I was going to say,
it was muted.
In hindsight, they could have got a bit more excited than that, surely.
Yesterday on the program, Tom Duday's screamer, not a screamer, was the subject of some conversation. Have a listen.
The lowest key mark of the year campaign in history you're now responsible for.
Well, hang on, maybe. Just, we talked about like the campaign captaincy, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, what if I've just gone super low key and everyone's gone, oh, he can't be that bad, can it? And they've gone on to check the mark and then they vote for me and then I get the win for the week anyway.
That would be tactically...
I've reverse psychology the entire audience.
Tactical brilliance. Or you get the irony vote. People go, you know, it'd be funny. As if the dude's mark wins mark of the year.
It was that crap that it'll win it.
Well, whatever the logic of the campaign, or indeed the reason people voted for it, dude got up. We won Mark of the Year, and he's the Mark of the Year nominee for round 17. We're going to chalk this one up to this is a victory of people power.
Certainly is.
Either people ironically thought it would be funny, or they just thought the dude's a great guy.
He was tweeting about it last night. He tweeted you and I, and he wrote, "It worked." It worked with a link.
Can we get him up for Mark of the Year? I don't know if the whole thing's democratic at the end.
Why not?
I think...
Do we all vote on it? Is there a way for, is there like a sort of
well that's what I'm asking.
Sort of equivalent?
I'm not sure. We managed to do it for round 17. I just wonder what else we could sway with our powers.
Who knows? Election results.
Oh, it's suddenly
the stock market.
What are you hearing?
Hey, folks, I was just very kindly given a box of pasta sauce by Maria at Lucia's. First 5AA listener who's here in the market who would like to receive this, because I'm not going to take it home myself, I'm going to give it away to somebody else, come over and say good day, and you will get 6 very tasty jars of the Lucia's tomato and fresh basil pasta sauce.
We're just getting through some news, David, that the Deputy Premier, in fact, the Acting Premier, Susan Close, will be making an announcement at 10 a.m. this morning with some further details of Neil Curley's state funeral. Because we've had a stack of people that have sent us texts on the Automasters text line and called into the station wanting to know. So we'll have some clarity, and you'll hear it here at first on 5AA. Date.
Apparently it's going to be the week beginning July 25. That's what I was told yesterday by someone in the know. So it won't be next week, it'll be the week after.
That'll be a massive event.
That'll be huge.
I suspect, we had so many people that contributed to the show and paying tribute to Knuckles right across the station, many of whom worked with him. He was a very integral part of 5AA for a long, long time as well. So the expectation is that I think you'll be hearing a lot of familiar voices at this at the state funeral.
Without sounding too self-indulgent, we were on leave when it happened, but it was actually something that was quite a personal sort of and tragic thing for a lot of people at 5AA. KG was devastated.
Yeah.
A lot of the guys knew him really well, and I know too that a lot of senior people around town, like Mark Rasciuto at the Adelaide Football Club, people had come to have really close personal friendships with Curls, and it was something that was felt right across footy, but also through the generations, going back to blokes who played with him in the 50s and 60s, right up to the modern era.
It's 27 minutes after 8, 8223 0000 is our number. You can text us as well on the Automasters text line. I'm just having a look at what's ahead. We do have time for some more Meat Tray Friday entries, thanks to Leda Cox, where we're asking you this morning, are you making friends now?
I just gave the pasta sauce away to one of our listeners. I didn't realise. We're being all poignant talking about curls, and there was a lady standing there waving at me going, I'm here for the pasta sauce.
Oh,
so we can seamlessly shift from something quite maudlin to something quite upbeat, can't we?
Okay, yep, and we'll try and get some Meat Tray Fridays callers in between, of course, too. As I was saying, if you've got a story of the thing you cannot live without, what can you not live without? That's some wonderful entries for the Meat Tray, and we do have some more time. So if you'd like to win it, looks spectacular. Leda Cox, 8223 0000, or text us on the Automasters text line. We'll get to some more of your entries right after 5AA News.
For over 38 years, Steinborner has been well worth the trip. With over 400 used cars to choose from, you're sure to find the car you're looking for. Steinborner is your first choice for new Hyundai and Mitsubishi in the Barossa, and your first choice for Ford in Clare. And don't forget, you can always click through the collection of vehicles online at steinborner.com.au. Great local deals on great local cars from your locals. Steinborner Automotive. Still well worth the trip, or well worth the click.
Feeling the burn? Save cash with Cheapest Chips Hot Buys. Nescafe Gold Coffee 190 grams, only $9.99. Lynx and Rexona deodorants 100 to 150 grams, any two for $7. Finish Powerball 110 packs, regular or lemon, only $16.99. And men's assorted Violet Crumble and Crown Mince confectionery, any two for just $6. Check out this week's catalogue for more hot buys in-store and online. Save cash and live cheaper with Cheapest Chips Hot Buys now.
Morning, Dave.
Hey Dave, how's it going?
That's good.
That was Dave before he discovered the incredible fully adjustable Ultramatic bed. Now he gets a great night's sleep and it's reduced his snoring. Dave sleeps like a baby and wakes up like...
Morning all! Beautiful day, isn't it?
Ultramatic beds. Truly life-changing. Ultramatic.com.au.
Business NBN can help give you the edge because it's made for businesses' evolving needs. You can choose from a range of high-speed plans and business-grade support, and it's all available from a range of providers. To find out more, search Business NBN, made for more. Your experience may vary depending on your provider, plan, busy periods, when you use the internet and other factors.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head online to 5AA Facebook or search 5AA on YouTube. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Partly cloudy, 15 today with the 8:30 news. I'm Mel Usher.
Looking for the perfect winter exercise? Physio Extra offers clinical Pilates at 6 locations. PhysioExtra.com.
Details on Neil Curley's state funeral will be released this morning. The footy legend died in a car crash last month. He was 88. 5 people are in a serious condition following a head-on collision in the state's mid-north. It happened on the Spencer Highway at Clements Gap late yesterday afternoon. Senior Constable Matt Brown says a Honda sedan made contact with a Mitsubishi SUV.
The driver and sole occupant of the Honda, a 38-year-old woman from Port Pirie, was taken to the local hospital with serious injuries. The Mitsubishi driver, a 27-year-old woman from Kadina, was airlifted from the scene and taken to the Royal Adelaide Hospital, also with serious injuries.
3 children in the Mitsubishi, aged 1, 3 and 4, were airlifted to the Women's and Children's for treatment. Major Crash is investigating. Police are investigating an incident at Smithfield Plains yesterday where a man was assaulted and forced into a car. He was walking across a grass area toward Curtis Road when 2 men got out of a silver Subaru and assaulted him before dragging him into the car. The Subaru, which was driven by a third man, then sped off. The victim is described as being of Aboriginal appearance, aged in his early 20s, and was wearing a long-sleeve shirt and pants. Anyone who may have witnessed the incident or has any information is asked to contact police. The Prime Minister will sit down with state leaders on Monday to discuss the management of the latest COVID wave. There's a renewed push for the federal government to bring back pandemic leave payments. ACTU Secretary Sally McManus says while cost should be considered, now is not the time to end support, which stops people choosing between health and their financial well-being.
We get that there's a time that you've got to stop these payments, but it's certainly not at a time when our hospitals have been overwhelmed. You can't on one hand say that people have got to stay at home and on the other hand say, well, you're not going to get paid and you're left with nothing.
Ivana Trump has died from an apparent heart attack, the 73-year-old passing away in Manhattan. She married Donald Trump in 1977 and is the mother of Donald Jr., Ivanka and Eric. The pair divorced in 1992. The former US president has issued a statement saying she was a wonderful and amazing woman who led a great and inspirational life. Kylie Minogue and Jason Donovan's 80s duet, Especially For You, is getting a special re-release to coincide with their return to Neighbours. It will be available as a 7-inch vinyl single and ka-single from August 5.
Together, I wanna show you my heart is so true, and all the love I have is especially for you.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
10-year warranty and 10-year capped price servicing at Agostino Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Elizabeth.
What a great song. Now it's over to Tom Reed.
Yeah, brilliant, isn't it? Iconic. Let's start with footy. 3 changes have been made to Adelaide's 22 to face Collingwood tomorrow at Adelaide Oval. Shane McAdam, Mitch Hinge and Lockie Murphy have been included in the side, while Matt Crouch, Jackson Haitley and James Rowe have been omitted. Meantime, Port Adelaide will trim its squad later today to take on Melbourne on Sunday. To golf, Aussie Cam Smith is right in contention after the opening round of the Open Championship at St Andrews in Scotland. He fired an impressive 5 under 67, putting him only 3 shots behind American leader Cameron Young, and he says it was a good way to get his major championship underway.
It's nice to get off to a hot start any week, really, but these majors, I think the tougher the course gets, especially around here, how it's going to get really firm and really fast. It's almost going to be like holding on, I think, on the weekend. So nice to get out there and shoot a number and get myself well under par.
Audio there thanks to Fox. Let's go to tennis. Novak Djokovic says he's keen to return to Australia despite the drama surrounding the 2022 Open and his eventual deportation.
I was deported from the country in which I would like to come back. So I would love to come back to Australia. I love Australia. I had the best Grand Slam results in that country. If I have a permission, I'll be there. If I don't, I will not be there.
First, he will need special approval from the federal government to be allowed back into the country. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
Empress Homewares, 60 The Parade Norwood, Adelaide's most eclectic furniture decor specialist. One-off pieces on sale now.
At Evanston South, residual delays from an earlier smash on Main North Road near Smith Road. That's as you're heading inbound. In the Parklands, Rundle Road is closed between East Terrace and Jakettaville Terrace for the Illuminate Festival, and Sturt changed traffic conditions there, Marion Road and South Road. It's due to New Asheville going down. No lines marked and speeds are reduced. Busy at the moment, South Road at Mile End with a camera at Dyson Road at Christie's Beach. Want a Netflix subscription included in your internet plan? Get more choice when you switch to Optus Home Internet, the home of better internet. It starts with yes. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast today, heading for a top of 15 and partly cloudy. Showers increasing tomorrow 15 and 15 again on Sunday. Right now it's 9 degrees. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Statewide Super is now Host Plus, an industry super fund for all Australians. That's a plus.
Turn over here. They go down, they go. Terrific mark, Tommy Duday. That's the game real estate mark of the day. Mark that one down, Duday.
Well, it was the moment on the weekend that lifted the roof off the 5AA commentary box. You heard them there, didn't you? That was just...
That's right up there with Jazalenko, you're guilty.
So sometimes it's the call that makes the moment. That wasn't one. They called it, I think, perfectly for the moment. But then once removed from it, you realise that what we had was an opportunity, and the 5AA Breakfast audience seized it. Tom Duday, I think, inspired it cleverly by downplaying it so strongly yesterday. And as we mentioned before the break, success, it was awarded Mark of the Week. And I think now, inevitably, it's a Mark of the Year winner. The dude is on the line. You had this plan from the start, didn't you?
I am walking into Adelaide Oval with the captain's under the crown on my head right now. I am over the moon. I've planned it well. Planned it very well.
It was an absolute textbook lesson in understatement, wasn't it, Tom?
Yeah. Look, I'm not going to be, it wasn't my plan all along, but I'll take it now. And it turns out reverse psychology does work on a grand order.
You know, dude, in some sports, an iconic moment or move becomes the logo, like Jerry West in the NBA. Do you suspect your mark should just become the AFL logo, maybe?
I'd be incredibly disheartened if it wasn't. I'd probably write a letter to Bill and say, Bill, this is your swan song, this is your final act as finished. Just change it. Just make a change. It's time for a move, and time we put someone else on the logo. Not just doing actual letters.
Does the offer still stand to the 5AA Breakfast audience that you win the pie and it's pie night at Dude's house for everyone?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. If that mark wins Mark of the Year, then it'll be more than just pies. It'll be an absolute send-off because there's no way that mark deserves anything more than a weekly nomination.
I think he's done it again. He might have just built a little momentum up for the end of the year vote. Dude, congratulations to you. High-fiving and worthy successor to the great Tony Modra at the Adelaide Football Club. We've been waiting for the next mods.
Yeah.
And he's well and truly arrived in the form of the dude. Good on you, mate.
No, I appreciate it. Appreciate it, fellas. Thanks for everyone who voted. It means a lot. It's a big moment for me and the family. Look, we'll take this moment and we'll move on. But yeah, it's going to be celebrated for the weekend, I reckon.
That was almost like Oscar night. Good on you, mate.
Good on you too.
I'd like to thank the Academy.
I don't know how we can do this, but we need to get this mark to be Mark of the Year. It needs to win. It needs to win somehow, some way.
Yeah.
I don't care if there's a voting system. If there's not a voting system, we can hack it. Yeah. We've got people that listen to this program that are capable of stuff.
That's right.
We're going to get it across the line. He's a good sport, the dude, too. 22 to 9, behind closed doors in a moment. We'll get to some more of your Meat Tray Friday entries as well. But wanted to revisit a story with a traumatic beginning that has had just a remarkable conclusion.
We were saying at the start of the show, and over the last couple of years, like everybody else, you can often feel like you've lost track of time with everything that's going on. But it's only a little over 2 years since Will and I started the year doing the first 5AA breakfast show of 2020 on Kangaroo Island. We were there at the Ozone Hotel. We got there the night before, met up with Mary Lou Corcoran, who was working at the pub there, and she gave us a bit of a tour of fire-ravaged Kangaroo Island. We drove out towards Pandana, near where Shane Lay has his wonderful business, Kangaroo Island Garlic. It's a business that he started a bit over a decade ago with two mates, and it's been a litany of tragedies and triumphs for Shane, because his two mates that he started the business with, one of them died in a car accident, the other one died from cancer. He got things back on his feet, and then he lost pretty much everything. He lost his home, he lost all of his sheds and equipment as the bushfires swept through out of Flinders Chase National Park. And when we met him, the fires were still burning. There were still stumps that were glowing red with embers. There were burnt koalas on the roads, and it was a pretty shattered time. But the good news is that 2.5 years on, things have really turned around. Shane, we've got you on the line, mate. It's been a remarkable couple of years, but it's so good that you've not only survived, but you now seem to be really sort of prospering.
Yeah, good morning, guys. How are you going today?
Yeah, we're good, mate. What's it been like, this crazy ride? Because, you know, when we met up with you back in 2020, things couldn't have been much bleaker on Kangaroo Island.
No, definitely not. Look, the last 2 years probably has flown by, really, with the amount of work that needed to go into rebuilding the island, you know, my business as well as the island, which is, you know, there's still ongoing things on Kangaroo Island that are still getting put into place, but yeah, probably honestly, it's been a blur. Like the last 2.5 years, as you said, like I sit back now and think that was 2.5 years ago, and to sort of where we've got back to, obviously, it's taken a lot of work from everyone in the community and myself to rebuild to where we get to. But things are looking good on the farm right now. We've got our biggest crop in. We've got just over 5 hectares of garlic in this year, which is, you know, the season's been really helpful to us. We've had rains at the right time and things like that, and look, it's probably, you know, it's the best looking crop I've had through when I started, you know, over 7-8 years ago now. So,
and mate, the two things you didn't lose in the fires, you didn't lose that year's garlic crop, and you didn't lose your dogs either, which was a huge thing. But that crop, that sort of gave you enough sustenance to sort of keep going, and you've really sort of diversified the business, haven't you, with like your garlic salt, your garlic granules, all of which is on sale here in the central market at the KI food shop.
Yeah, that's correct. The diversification in the business has been a big thing. The salts, the powders. It's about offering a brilliant Australian-grown garlic product all year round, and that's why we sort of diversified off those lines, because, you know, fresh garlic, Australian garlic, is only available for a 4 to 5 month period in every season. It's just that's the season we grow it, and its lifespan is 4 to 5 months. So by dehydrating and value-adding some products, we're able to offer a brilliant Australian, grown Australian-produced product all year round to the consumer.
I'll tell you what, it's the best way to make garlic bread. Put a few of those granules into some butter and spread it onto some stale baguette or something like that and chuck it in the oven, and great on a steak too, mate. But it
is that easy. It's just a little bit of education to people that you can use these dried product as well as you can use the fresh product. So a little bit of education to the consumer about how to use things, but you get the brilliant flavours that come out through all the different products. So.
Well, mate, we love meeting up with you, and it's been good staying in touch with you since. So well done. I know you've relaunched your website this week. We gave that a bit of a plug the other morning on the show. We'll catch up with you soon, Shane. Good on you, mate.
I appreciate it, guys. Yep, kifreshgarlic.com. Get on there and get your garlic whenever you need it.
Good man.
Good
well
on you,
done.
Shane.
Expertly done. Shane Lay, KI Garlic. It's 17 minutes to 9. We'll check traffic in a moment. But first, let's have a look at the fuel situation. You can download the free My RAA app today to find the cheapest fuel in an instant. Here are the cheap spots, and some good news this morning because starting to see some sixes in front of the cents component of this. The Ampol Kensington Road, Kensington, $1.67.9. The On the Run Belair Road, Kingswood, $1.69.9. The On the Run Regency Road, Croydon Park, is just over $1.70 to $1.70.9. The diesel, it's come off about 5 cents, but still it's got a way to travel. The cheapest diesel, the On the Run South Road, Ridleyton, $2.14.9. More time for your Meat Tray Friday entries as well. You can tell us what it is that you couldn't live without. Mary's called in from Prospect. What could you not live without, Mary?
Okay, I have Greek coffee, and that overboils. You have to stand there while it's cooking. But they've innovatively brought out a machine that does it automatically. It doesn't overflow. So I can't
that's
leave
good.
without my coffee. And all I need now is a Tesla car that'll drive for me as well, and I'm done.
You don't have to worry about anything ever again.
So, Mary...
That's it. I don't have to lift a finger.
So the little those little Greek coffee makers, they're called brickies, aren't they? The little pots.
Yes, they are, and you normally put them on a stove. But this one's electric, and you set it up and walk away, and it's ready when you walk back. It never overflows. Genius.
I'm jealous of you, Mary. You've got it all worked out.
Does it still make the is it kaimaki, the cream on top? Do you still get the kaimaki?
A lot of kaimaki. You need a knife and a fork for the kaimaki.
Excellent.
Good on you, Mary. Thank you.
Excellent stuff.
We might be able to help you out with the meat tray, but not quite the Tesla as of yet.
No,
Elon hasn't hooked us up with a car to give away.
Not quite that generous, are we?
Well,
or not that flush with cash.
we'd be happy to give it away.
What's a Tesla cost?
You can get the base level one for 60, 70 grand. They're not prohibitive. They're in that they're in that low luxury car range.
Yeah, right.
Price. But look, if Elon does want to hook us up with one, we will give it away.
He hasn't bought Twitter. He saved a bit of money there.
He saved about $40 billion. We'll have Electric Car Thursday in addition to Meat Tray Friday. All right?
I'd still rather win the meat tray, I think. From Le Ducoc. Are we saying that right? I don't think we are.
I'm not sure. Lucy's not here to tell us, so...
Lucy's never been happier not to be at work. 14 murdering the French language for 3 hours.
14 minutes to 9. Let's check traffic. Thanks to the Samri Bright Walk. There's still time to join for a brighter future at samribright.org.au.
At Evanston South, residual delays from an earlier smash, Main North Road near Smith Road heading inbound. At Sturt, change traffic conditions, Maureen Road at South Road due to work. Speeds reduced, no lines marked there, so do take some extra care. Aldinga, various works happening on Main South Road near Little Road. That's making the drive in pretty slow this morning, and we're getting quite busy South Road at Mile End. Keep an eye out for a camera to States Road at Morford Vale. Shop the Dyson Event Special and save up to $400 on selected Dyson technology. Exclusive to dyson.com.au. Buy direct from the people who made it. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
City Discount Tires.
Get saving this month at City Discount Tires. When you buy 3 Falcon Zeek ZE914 car tyres, you'll get the 4th tyre free. The perfect tyre for cost-saving, fuel efficiency and performance. City Discount Tires are a proud multi-tyre and wheel brand retailer offering great service at great prices. Visit citydiscounttires.com.au to find your nearest store. City Discount Tires. We're driven by value.
City Discount Tires.
I can hear on a boat. I can hear in the shower. I can even hear when I swim.
Some of that's down to Ordeo Life, the world's first waterproof rechargeable hearing aids. Call Connect Hearing now for your free 10-day trial on 1300 520 804.
Now, this may come as a bit of a shock, so brace yourself, David, but you don't need a pest exterminator's licence to be a dentist. No, not required.
Bizarre but true, and I imagine, Will, you don't need an exterminator's licence to be an interior designer either.
Radio announcer, no qualifications required whatsoever. And none of them...
That's more believable if you listen to this show.
None of them, that includes not being a pest inspector.
Well, surely they need one.
I would have thought so. Unfortunately, there are some pest inspectors, though, that can't do exterminations. I'm not sure what that leaves you capable of as a pest inspector. I guess you can go and point at the pest and say, yes, that is a pest. I'll leave you to it.
Yeah, that's right. Good luck.
Once you've had them come out and identify your pests, ants, termites, mice, whatever it might be, they then fob you off to another guy to finish the job.
It's an absolute waste of time and money.
So Mike Pearl from House Inspectors identified this problem and he's got it fixed for you. He does building and he does pest inspections as well, and he's got the most qualified team in Australia. So whether your roof's making noises or you've got a creepy, crawly problem, they're licensed to track them, licensed to kill them. Go to pestinspectaustralia.com.au.
The mid-year event is on at Solitaire Maserati. With the Levante SUV available for immediate delivery, now is the time to own one of the world's most desired luxury performance brands. Book a test drive at solitairemaserati.com.au. DL 65541.
9 News has the experience to break the news. Made in Adelaide for Adelaide. 9 News.
Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Statewide Super is now Host Plus, an industry super fund for all Australians. That's a plus.
11 minutes to 9. We're going to take some more Meat Tray Friday entries, and then what we'll do is we'll go behind closed doors. The judging panel will convene, and we'll give away this excellent Meat Tray. And Meat Tray, who we met Audrey earlier, who is the butcher.
Oh, yeah.
Moved just over from Paris 12 months ago.
Doesn't know much about the Crows midfield. Other than that, she knows the charcuterie.
She knows as much about the Crows midfield as I do about pronouncing the name of the butcher correctly. Lucy's been driven so mad, she's literally called into the program. So for the first time in the last 2 hours and 49 minutes, you're about to hear the name of the butcher pronounced correctly. Morning, Luce.
Hi guys, how you going?
We're good, Luce. How are you bearing up?
I'm alright. I am calling from bed. I'm a bit croaky, but the ever producer in me just needs to correct you.
Yeah, please do.
So, Le Deux Coq, are we close? Not even close.
No, David, you were quite good. Will, I messaged you earlier and you're still not quite there, so I'm very sorry. But it is Le Deux Coq.
Le Deux Coq.
Okay.
Le Deux Coq.
Well, there you go. So, how about we drop it into the middle of my sentence and say it correctly, okay? So, you just hold on, Luce, and get ready to drop it in. Call in now, 8223 You can win a meat tray from the magnificent people at
Le Deux Coq.
By telling us what it is that you couldn't live without. See, that's magnificent. That's teamwork. Well done, Luce. Get well soon. We'll see you Tuesday.
Thank you. See you next week.
All right.
Good on you, Luce.
Good stuff. Let's go to Tanunda. Angela, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good,
We're
Angela.
good, thanks, Angela. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I can't live without my dog. I'd die without my dog. He's a little tiny teacup breed. He tells me when the phone rings. He tells me when there's somebody at the door, and he makes me laugh.
What's his name, Angela?
Ollie.
What was that, sorry?
Ollie.
Ollie.
Not named after Ollie Wines, is he?
Oh, probably. But I never thought about it.
Well, I hope if you're a Port fan, I hope you have more luck than we did, because we named one of our dogs Paddy, and then he went and played for Geelong.
Yeah, I don't think Angela sounded like a Port fan. Thank you, Angela. Let's go to Flinders Park. Dean, good morning.
Morning, guys. I couldn't do without my family. I'd be sane and bored.
Thank you, Dean. That's a bit of a backhander. Jen in Underdale, good morning.
Morning. It's Jennifer, it is.
Hello, Jennifer.
Good morning.
Dean just stole my thunder. I can't live without my family. Love them or hate them. I can't live without my family.
Good stuff, Jennifer.
Family's everything.
All right, we might take...
Pauline made the first entry along those
Guilted
lines.
a few people into it. Let's go to Parafield. Might take one more. Francis, good morning.
Good morning.
What's yours, mate?
Can't live without my oven. I can't live without my food.
Yeah, well, that's very true.
Okay, that's as I look at the remnants of about 5 different meals in front of David this morning. I think
I've had a real go this morning.
An entry after his heart. That said, your work's not done. You've got there in front of you, right, here's something that is a new sort of a delicacy here at the Central Market, the coffee bean shop with the edible coffee cup. You've got a coffee there in a cup that can be eaten.
The whole cup. Oh, actually, it's melting in my hands. Look at that.
Yeah. So can you do a little bit of a trial for us? I've never seen this before. What's the cup? Is it a wafer or something or other?
It is some kind of wafer.
But it looks like it's got chocolate around
the
rim.
outside is
How does it not melt away?
Well, actually, it does melt away.
Well, the top bit does, but how does the body of it
I don't
melt
know.
away?
Presumably, you wouldn't leave it for like 3 days.
It's made from oats and grains, I'm told. They can hold their shape for up to 8 hours and are 100% vegan. So, in fact, if you take a bite out of that, you might disappear like a vampire
Might start voting for the Greens. I mean, all the time.
Have a bite and a sip, I guess, is what you do with it. I've never seen this before.
It's all melty. See?
Okay.
God, my lips.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Very sweet. You've got to be a sweet tooth.
It's all right. You can... I want to see you take a bite. I want to see what it looks like.
Not conducive to live radio because my lips are sort of fused together on account of all the melting chocolate.
Okay, right. We might let you...
But you can eat it.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll have a full sort of mouthful because I'd probably send hot coffee spraying all over myself. Vegan.
You got to drink.
Vegan, you tell me.
Drink first, eat later.
Yeah.
Because otherwise things will go really pear-shaped quickly.
Good EDI. Eat me, it says. There you go. What about that?
Excellent.
Everything.
Okay, let's go behind closed doors. Thanks to Aussie Fast Transport Solutions, Interstate Freight Distribution, Warehousing and Local Adelaide Couriers. Call Aussie Fast 13 13 64.
And when we get behind closed...
13.95, Adelaide's 5AA. This is Graham Goodings.
Welcome along. Hope we find you well. 8223 0000's my number if you'd like to give me a call. A lot of important issues to discuss today. We've got the awful case of people living in a tent because of the rental situation. You might like to comment on that. Also, bulk billing. A lot of doctors deciding to do away with bulk billing. How will that affect you? Give me a call. Dan, I think, wants to talk about the serious issue of housing. Hello, Dan.
Oh, g'day, Graham. I just wanted to tell you, mate, that the Mansfield Park Hotel has just reintroduced the buffet.
Okay, not about housing, but the buffet.
Yeah, it's a bloody beauty.
Okay, thanks for that, Dan. You might also like to comment on Peter Malinauskas locking in the COVID laws as they stand. How do you feel about that? Give me a call. Denise, good morning. You have a comment about the COVID laws?
Oh, no, Graham. I just wanted to tell you the Watermark at Glenelg has a full buffet lunch.
All right.
Yeah, it's been going for quite a while.
Has it?
Yeah, they have the whole buffet with the salad and the veggies.
That's fascinating. Thanks for your call. The Labor Party today has announced its costings if it takes office after Saturday with an $8.4 billion deficit. How do you feel about that? Will that change your vote? Very important issue. Let's talk to Jerry, see what he thinks. Hello, Jerry.
Oh, g'day, Graham. The Southeastern Hotel has a nice buffet. Beautiful.
Oh.
Salad and veg, bread rolls, the whole works.
Thanks for your call, Jerry. Hi, Kevin.
Oh, g'day, Graham. I'll tell you what, I was listening to that stuff with Michelle Lenzig and Nat Cook.
Oh, yeah, important stuff.
Why do I get a sense of deja vu and half-time change-ins?
You got some entertainment out of that, did you?
Oh, it just drives me bonkers, them blaming each other and getting nothing done. The whole thing's a laugh. It's just a joke. You like a good laugh, don't you, Graham?
Oh, absolutely. Love humour. Same as the next person. Thanks for your call. Yeah, I like a good joke. A baby seal walks into a club.
That's not funny, Dad. Now, we've got a meat tray to give away on this Friday morning here at the Central Market.
A lot of people stumping for family as the one thing they can't live without, with all the ups and downs that family life can provide you with. But look, I reckon I love the call. It was the second call we had right at the very start of the show from a 91-year-old listener, Lornie from Salisbury. who, putting pay to the stereotype that older people aren't into technology, said the one thing she absolutely can't live without is her mobile phone, words with friends, keeps her mentally agile, and she loves all the different apps and gizmos. So for her excellent call and for her sprightliness at the age of 91, we're going to give you the special Pidcock meat tray, Lornie, so you can celebrate Bastille Day, Bastille Week with your friends this weekend.
Yep, absolutely. Big thanks too to the wonderful businesses here at the markets that managed to furnish us with food right throughout the morning. Lucia's, Vegas Poultry, Tony O'Connell Meats and others. It's always a wonderfully welcoming environment to be able to come to first thing in the morning, and now it's just an absolute... just an absolute bustling sort of a scenario down here at the moment. There's people everywhere. It's
the best testament on behalf of the Central Market today came from someone who's not from Adelaide, came from Audrey, from France, from Le Decop, who said, "This is the only place I've been in Australia, which reminds me of Europe."
Yes.
She said, "I just walk around here and I feel like I'm back home." And, you know, it's a testament to the hard work of all of the many primary producers and all of the secondary sort of, you know, food industry people here who take all of our great local produce and turn it into something terrific that we can all enjoy. So if you haven't been to the market for a while, folks, get on in, because there really is nothing like it in Australia.
You're going to have to get a doggy bag from today's broadcast.
Mate, I'm going to have to bring mine to 10 and see if they can deliver a wheelbarrow. Luckily, I've got a good park.
You need a budget rental truck.
Yeah, that's right, exactly.
We're out of time. Have a wonderful weekend. Hope your football team wins, especially if it's mine. Catch you Monday.